charged with killing her, but a second arraignment is continued until tomorrow over questions about his appointed attorney.
Eliza Fletcher's relatives say they are devastated by her senseless loss, but also want to remember and celebrate how special she was. One tribute has surfaced in the form of a video that Fletcher initially made for her students at St. Mary's Episcopal School, where she taught kindergarten. She sings "This Little Light of Mine," and at the end of the video, introduces the class to her dog, Janie.
Fox's Jonathan Sari outside the courthouse in Memphis. On Friday, a group of female runners plans to finish the early morning run that Fletcher was making when she was forced into an SUV. America is listening to Fox News.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
When a nasty cold keeps you up all night, Vicks NyQuil Severe gives you powerful relief from your worst cold and flu symptoms, which changes a night that sounds like this into a night that sounds more like this. Ah, that's better. NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, sore throat, stuffy head, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold, medicine. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Quiet times, high pressure in control. Our high temperature today should pop out at about 82 degrees, partly to mostly sunny skies. Nice evening on the way. Partly cloudy skies, quick drop into the upper 70s. 65 for the overnight low. We're approaching the full moon. That comes up early Saturday. The harvest moon. Thursday, sunny and 83. Friday, sunny and 85. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft, I've got him on the line.
The idea that because people disagree with you, they are somehow evil, and the idea that the President of the United States would be telling half the country or more that they are terrible, vile people is abhorrent.
Mark Cox.
Well, the media picked up on it and carried his talking points forward and suggested that if you support Trump, you support the violent overthrow of the United States government.
97.1 FM Talk.
TheDiamondShop.net, TheDiamondShop.net. When you are looking for jewelry to purchase in the next few months, I really want you to understand how valuable it is to have a friend in the business. And when you go to the Diamond Shop, you are easily going to understand quickly why they are the Frey family jeweler. Why we go to them in Clayton. They've been around since 1910. And folks, I want to tell you, these are trustworthy people. These are good people. And they're part of our family here on the Andy Frey Show. If you are looking for something special for someone, remember they have 6 months, same as cash financing available for you as well. You can go online. You can become a VIP, get access to special offers, special discounts, and working with the people at the Diamond Shop, you're going to be able to trust that that walk from the beginning of going in the door at the Diamond Shop in Clayton to the end with the purchase that you're going to make, that you are going to fully understand that you're getting a great value and an absolutely quality product. Go visit my friends online right now at thediamondshop.net.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuyshomesaintlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com. Chris Buys Homes in stlouis.com or call 314-782-8000.
Hi, my name is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. In honor of our newest location in Cottleville, for any new customers, simply come into any of our 6 locations and ask us to pay the first $50, and we will. That's right. That means brakes, suspension, alignments, air conditioning, even our auto body work. Please come see our team or visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh, yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Right now is the perfect time to call Zero Res to deep clean and refresh your carpets, air ducts, upholstery, and more. Call 314-474-2020. Get the Mark Reardon special. 3 rooms, Zero Resified, starting at $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. 474-2020.
Anytime is a smart speaker time. Hey Alexa, hey Siri. Stream 97.1 by command. It's easy and it's free. Right here. 97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, happy Wednesday, St. Louis. Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I'm back. That's exciting. Took a little extended trip with my family, extended break over the Labor Day holiday. Glad to be back here. Interesting to get situated back in the news after taking a few days off and really allowing myself, along with my family, to spend time with my family and to unplug. And this is a recurring theme you're going to hear from me when I come back from what I will refer to as a mental break. And it really centers in on talking about what's actually valuable. And I was thinking about this real hard in the last 24, 48 hours. The idea of what do we value and what is valuable. There's a difference in what society collectively comes together and says and identifies kind of as a collective, all hands in the middle, we're going to value this thing. And you know what really has tipped me off from this? I was on an airplane this weekend. I was scrolling through social media and different entities that I follow or read up on news and stuff. And, you get ads that are sent to you. You get ads that are targeted to you. There's a system. There's a process by which the internet and the companies that really know how to manipulate it, and by extension, how to manipulate you through advertising, they pay attention to what you see, what you post, what you look at for a longer period of time. If you're scrolling through something on social media and you don't click on it, there are still ways that social media will track the fact that you stopped and looked at something longer. And then it will reserve you more of that content. Why? So you keep scrolling. You keep looking at ads, and the more ads you look at, the more these companies can sell ad placements to other companies, and the more these other companies that want to advertise want to be stuck in the middle of your social media feed. Social media was supposed to be a place of connection. Social media was supposed to be a place of community. It was an online community, and of course, as is the way things go in a capitalistic society in this country and across the globe, if it becomes a successful community, there is money generally to be made there. That's not inherently evil. It's not inherently good. It just is. But the way that we are advertised to now and the way that we are presented with content, and I'm not talking about when I was growing up, we got the internet in my house maybe around 1997, 1998, junior high. And kids, that are listening right now, when I say we got the internet in our house, you would not recognize this thing as the internet or the computer with which you had to access the internet on. And you know, I was probably 13, 14 years old. You had to cross your fingers that you could even connect to it. And there's a really bizarre sound that came along with the successful attempt to access the internet. We didn't look at the internet as something that was powerful. It was kind of like the great unknown. It was like discovering a new planet. You had no idea what was on it, and you didn't even really know how to maneuver it. You just kind of were there. And then you got an email address. Maybe it was Netscape, maybe it was AOL. What was your first, Brad? What was your first email address domain? Do you remember?
AOL.
Hotmail.
Yeah, it
was an early one. Yahoo was an early one.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Ask Jeeves?
Ask Jeeves. I remember Ask Jeeves.
How did they fare? Like Google is Ask Jeeves.
This is well, I mean, it was the same.
It's the concept.
Same, yeah.
Google is the massive progression of Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
And Ask Jeeves wasn't even something that really connected you to the place that you were going, because the place that you wanted to get to didn't exist. Ask Jeeves was just like a question like, what's the fourth planet from the sun? You type that in and it would just tell you, just like that. Probably.
Yeah.
We've turned the internet into a place that knows you better than you know yourself. It's a scary, scary place to be. And the reason why I was thinking a lot about this is because I was paying attention with a very critical eye, purposely scrolling through the internet, on social media, on news platforms I follow, and looking at the ads that were being served. And it's very interesting how hand in hand, what is being sold to you in advertisements, in a costume, essentially, in a disguise to look like content. It's a product being sold to you in a way that's supposed to look like content. The key element to a successful sale is not the product, it's the virtue. You're not being sold things, you're being sold feelings. You're not being sold items or services or tangible products. You're being sold confidence in yourself that you're a good person. And I have to ask myself, if that's the case, why are we so hungry to feel like we're good people? If you are so hungry to feel as though you're a good person, then that means that the baseline kind of has to be, I kind of feel like a trash human being on a regular basis. Why is that? Well, ironically, it's because especially, I mean, I don't know if it's especially, but I'll tell you my personal experience of being a 38-year-old female growing up in a society where, you know, thin was in, and there was a specific example of what beauty was, and there's a specific shape and size that women are supposed to be. And it would be completely ignorant for me to suggest that men haven't grown up as young boys to see images of what growing men, aging men are supposed to look like as they come of age, or as they go into, you know, middle age, or even as senior citizens, that there's an idea out there of what you're supposed to be. And then we all measure ourselves against that. And then we all feel inadequate. In days gone by, and don't be so silly to think as if this still isn't happening, the images that are being positioned to Americans in a purpose specifically to sell you things, it's not even realistic. Those images are altered, they're fabricated, they're contrived, they're manifested in a way that is supposed to draw your eye and then your wallet. So now we move to a place where we're all supposed to be flexing our muscles, because body positivity is something that is super on trend right now. Weird sentence, I know. Stay with me. The idea that you should be happy in your body, no matter your shape or your size. The idea that anybody would look at their own body and suggest, I think there's room for improvement here, you're not even supposed to think that thought, because everybody in today's society is supposed to be 100% okay with being exactly the way they are, when they are, how they are, that there should not be any essence of desired improvement on oneself. And I think that the reason why that is such an incredibly sellable point is because the idea of body positivity and having real confidence in oneself exactly the way they are is not human. Your human nature is to look at everybody else who's around you and say, how do I measure up to that? So the unattainable thing now is actually body positivity. The unattainable thing when I was growing up in the 90s was, low riding, hip hugger jeans. And yes, I know the 90s didn't invent that. To my parents' generation, I know, I get it. But your hip bones were supposed to be sticking out. You were supposed to be able to show your midriff. You were supposed to be skinny. You were supposed to be this perfect package of beauty that existed only in Hollywood. And now we have completely shifted over to, in many cases, celebrating things in our lives that are incredibly unhealthy. And I'm not just talking physically unhealthy. I'm talking mentally unhealthy, spiritually unhealthy, whole body unhealthy. What I was being sold when I was young was unattainable. Why? Because I'm about 5'8", and I was always super strong, and I had muscles, and I was fit, and I was athletic, and I was not a size 2, and God didn't make me to be a size 2. And everything I was seeing out in the world that was being presented to me, the clothes that I could wear, the things that I wanted to acquire so that I could look on trend, were not being presented to me by somebody who looked like me. We moved from size 00s and, 5'10", 6 foot tall models who were teeny tiny, selling people clothes, and to saying, you know what? I don't think that this is really a healthy representation of who we are as people. Good thought. Healthy progress. To where we are now, they're still selling us something that is not attainable. Not inherently completely attainable. To think that we are going to wake up one day and say, I am 100% okay with me. I want to be exactly like this for the rest of my life. That's not really even a healthy mindset either, because if you wake up one day and there's not something you can do to improve yourself throughout that day, on the simplest of terms, what's the point? The thing that is valued in society is applied and purchased virtue. And we have gone from a place of identifying with ourselves, who we are, like realistically, unfiltered. Who am I? Where is room for improvement for Annie? What do I need to do in my life to make my life better for me and ultimately for the people who are around me? All the companies out there see that, and now they're selling you a body positivity virtue that isn't attainable. It isn't healthy. It's not good for anybody. It's a product in and of itself that's being sold. What is valuable? This is where the key is, and this is what hurts my heart to see this. Because now we live in a society where the body positivity movement, which I'm picking on specifically because it's something that clearly has been targeted to me in my social media feeds and in my news media, the idea that, Annie, you're okay just the way you are. It's kind of offensive in one way, shape, or another, because I'm pretty happy where I am right now. I certainly still have room for improvement and still working on it. But this is where I'm targeted. The suggestion that I'm valuable. Let's say I was very overweight very heavy. And I'll use myself as an example because I don't want to pick on anybody else. There's celebrities who are making money off of this. And I'm not going to go there because they're making decisions for their lives. But I'm being targeted in this way. And I think that you can probably relate to this, whether it's your age and things that get advertised to you because of your age or hair loss or other things that ail the everyday human being, and they're trying to sell you this thing. The idea that if I were a very, very overweight person, that I'm valuable because I'm overweight, that is not healthy. But it does put me in a position where I all of a sudden feel valuable when I'm with this thing, when I'm with this product, when I'm with this company. These people get me. That's not healthy. Growing up as somebody who did not get any, I think altogether millennials for the most part, and it might exist beyond, ahead of being millennial. You could tell me. The idea of body positivity is a very brand new concept, I believe. And in and of itself seems like a good idea. But when it comes down to people looking at your condition, whether your condition is to be super healthy, you think there aren't people out there trying to sell virtue to people who are obsessed with their health, who only think about their health and who see everything in the world through health. It's not a tangible thing. It's not your soul. It's not who you are. It's what you are. And in a society where we only value what we are and we don't even consider who one another is, we're never going to fix problems like whether or not MAGA Republicans are good or bad. If we don't value who one another is, you're going to look at a problem that's on the southern border and you're going to think it's a color problem, a white problem, a brown problem, a black problem, based on different cities and locations and suburbs and inner cities and rural areas. Those things become color problems because it's what those people are. It's not who those people are. And if we actually invested in who the person is in each of those scenarios, you can't possibly boil it down to a demographic. You can't boil it down to the what people are. Because it's the who they are that matters. Who a person is determines how they treat one another. Who you are determines your value. That's the biggest key to unlocking everything that is facing us, troubling us in the future. Where I could spend this first segment back being on vacation for a few days. I could spend this first segment back, wringing out that washcloth once again about MAGA Republicans or what Joe Biden did in his speech last week, or, all of the different details about crime in this country and about the southern border and about education and student loans and the cost of healthcare. I can wring all of that stuff out. But until we start valuing who one another is, none of that even matters. Because if we're only interested in what the suburban white females are doing, or the black urban community is doing, or the Latino community that is or is not a part of the immigration situation that we have on the southern border and supporting it or not supporting it, if we boil everything down, then we're talking like them. Then we're talking like they do when they're trying to acquire power and money by accessing government positions. They don't want you to look at your neighbor for who they are. They want you to see your neighbor for what they are, because that's how they see you. And it's the case in advertising. It's the case in politics. It's the case in a lot of polling that you see. One of the reasons why I hate polling so much is because it just boils us down to this one thing that we are, that doesn't define who we are. And the more they keep us talking like that, the more they keep us from being the product of our experiences, the product of the passage of time, and the experience that leads us to have our own perspectives on the world. And those perspectives are supposed to be what formulate our political thoughts. But those political thoughts, they are way downstream from who we are. Look at any politician running right now. Find me one that cares about who you are and not what you are. And if you find that person, tell me about him. I want to vote for him. There is a celebrity who, in my opinion, has experienced this. I'm going to tell you who she is and how, even though I don't think that she's really realized it, her dramatic experience on the Roe v. Wade issue over the course of time, it's really quite a story. And I'm going to tell you who she is and what she dealt with when we come back. You can go vote on the YouTube live chat poll today on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Do you prefer a political system that represents more than two parties? You've got three options in today's poll. Yes, you prefer a political system that represents more than two parties. No, you don't. Or yes, I prefer it, but it's not feasible. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and that celebrity, I'm going to tell you who she is when we come back.
Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
With the midnight dew, I've been down on.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Me with a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of angels sweet. He called my name and my heart stood still. When he said, John, go do my will. Go tell that long-tongued liar.
This is a place for people to come together. Right here, right now. Make your voice heard. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Air Comfort Service, Corey Malone and the amazing staff over at aircomfortservice.com. If you want to look up more information about what I'm talking to you today. If you've got an air conditioner or furnace that needs to be serviced, please consider calling my friends at Air Comfort Service, 314-513-0091. It's 314-513-0091. Commercial repairs as well. If you're a business owner, building manager, operations manager, an office manager that was recently told that your HVAC system needs repair, you can call Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling and get a free second opinion on commercial HVAC repairs. 314-513-0091. Their accolades are a mile long. You can look them up yourself. They have an A+ rating with the BBB, awarded the BBB Torch Award in 2020, an 8-time recipient of Carrier's President's Award, 5-star reviews, including one from the Frey family, as they have been into my house to service our HVAC system, our water heater, our ductwork, the whole thing. I don't trust anybody more than I trust Air Comfort Service. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
NMLS 114937.
Transform your home into the most beautiful home in the neighborhood with Banner Construction, St. Louis's preferred James Hardy and Pella expert. Right now, the safest place to invest is in your home. Add curb appeal and value with a fresh new look you'll be proud to own. Check Banner out on the website, bannerconstruction.com, or call 314-569-1050 for a free in-home design consultation. And have a banner day. Again, the website, bannerconstruction.com, or just call 569-1050.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, September 7th, we're running an unprecedented one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. Even Cambridge has studied our technology. If you're ready to transform your love life, grab your phone. Today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. Also, you'll get a gift that can produce powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that, guys. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, worth $1,200. But call today, Wednesday, and qualify totally free. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 314-530-7777.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We are glad that you are here with us. A reminder, you can stream us if you're out and about in your car right now, maybe grabbing lunch, or maybe you're taking a break at the office. A reminder, that Odyssey app, it goes with you anywhere you go. Download it on your phone. Follow 97.1 FM Talk. The app is Odyssey, Audacy. You follow 97.1 FM Talk there and take us with you. You can subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcasts as well on that app. I was talking in the first segment about what is valued in society versus what is actually valuable. And Brad, I'm going to get to you here in a second too, because we were kind of talking about this a little bit off the air. But this idea of all of these different things that are what we are don't actually define who we are. And I was using my example of, even when if I talk on the air, I lost weight with Slim 180. Go to myslim180.com and you can lose weight as well. They are a paid sponsor of the show. I am an actual customer of theirs, and I lost 22 pounds in 30 days. I had baby weight to lose, a little bit left. I also had COVID weight that I had put on right before I got pregnant, and I got rid of that with Slim 180. I'm very proud of that, but I did that because I wanted to lose the weight, not because I thought maybe I'll be a valuable person. 22 pounds down. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%. I know what you're saying.
You've gone through a massive weight loss.
Massive weight loss. At my lowest point, I had lost 110 pounds. And I did that. Not because I wanted to look good or anything like that. It's
but Brad, you have like a real compelling reason.
Yeah. I had a heart attack, and the doctor said, if you don't change the way you're doing things at 27, if you don't change the way you're living your life, you will die early. You will die young. And I didn't want to die. There's too many people that depend on me here. There's too much life left to live. I was only 27 years old.
Yeah.
Whenever the ambulance came to pick me up, they're like, there's no way he's having a heart attack. He's only 27. I mean, that's what they said the whole way there. I remember them saying, well,
Can you tell us what you weighed?
330 pounds.
You said it on the air before.
Mm-hmm.
For the people who are like, Annie.
Yeah.
He's talked about it on the air.
No. And listen, I am not shy about that, because this is important. It's an important journey. And really, in all honesty, the heart attack's a blessing, because I'm way down from that. And I'm actually in some of not the best shape of my life, but still a lot closer to the best shape of my life than I was before I had the heart attack. And I remember riding in the ambulance, and the whole way they're like, this is probably just anxiety. This is probably just stress. If you know me, I am not an anxious or a stress-ridden person at all. And I'm sitting here going, there's no way. It's not that. This is something serious, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember they're rolling me in the stretcher through the doors of the ER at like 3 a.m. and they're like, the doctor called it. I'm like, called what? And they're like, oh, you are having a heart attack. I'm like, oh, no joke. But anyway, long story short.
It's funny how chill you are about a heart attack. Speaking of not being an anxiety person.
Yeah. Oh man, the peace that I had during the midst of this was just insane.
Really?
I can't explain it outside of the peace that passes on
understanding.
Yep. So if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you can ask me next time at the event and I'll tell you all about it. But and then in life, people are like, wow, you've lost so much weight. What have you done? What has worked? And you're sharing with people. But then at the same time, you meet other people who don't ever want to talk about it at all.
What do you think, though, when people, if you were an overweight person, I mean, the way, let's see, you're 39.
I was that person.
You're 39?
I'm 39 now. Yeah.
So that was 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing good math? I'm still coming back from vacation. Leave me alone.
Yes.
12 years ago,
12 years ago, May.
obesity 12 years ago and obesity now, totally different in the eyes of culture.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the eyes of health.
No.
Your heart attack doesn't care
Like if you're
what
happy.
what the world feels about you. But Brad, if somebody would have come up to you, the doctor told you, you need to change your life.
Mm-hmm. The doctor told me before I had a heart attack as well.
And you just needed a little more persuasion.
But I just needed more pizza is what I needed.
And then you had a heart attack and you made the decision.
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody would have said, Brad, you're good just the way you are?
They're like, no, you don't know what my situation is. And I would have been like, well, thank you for telling me that. And then I would have just I would have written that person off as not helpful.
Because here's the thing that frustrates me so much. Brad, you were an intrinsically valuable person at 27 years old and 330 pounds. You had the same value then as you have now.
Yeah.
It's not your weight that made you valuable or made you less valuable. Whether in 12 years ago, the fact that you were, too heavy would in the eyes of society made you less valuable as a person. And now it's possible 12 years later, if you'd be 330 pounds, that people would see you as more valuable because they want to assign that virtue to themselves, that they care for you.
Because it's not about you. It's about them. It's this virtue assigning. Like, look, I support you no matter who you are. That's more about the person saying that than the person that they're supporting. Because really, if we're going to believe that my value is intrinsic as a person, then if I would have died from a heart attack, then the world has one less valuable person in it. And that person and those persons out there telling the fat person or the large person that you're good just the way you are actually depriving people of the world of good people. It's a completely unhealthy mindset. And it's a self-centered mindset. I'm telling you to make you feel good so that I feel good about me.
100%.
And then I can point out to everybody else, look at how good I am.
And society has grabbed onto that. And because we are in constant pursuit, I'm going to push a story about the celebrity off. I think probably to about 125. I got to rearrange everything because Brad brought this up on the break. And I'm like, fine, we'll do it your way, Brad. He's the executive producer. He pushes me around. He makes me do things his way. But the thing that frustrates me so much about this, Brad, is that the powers that be in the advertising world, in the world we live in, understand how much everyday consumers, and folks, you are a consumer. We are all consumers. It's probably the thing that is the biggest equalizer in this country is that we all wish to consume. That the powers that be, I have identified that consumers are so void of self-worth that the most powerful thing that they can be sold is the feeling that they did something. And it has to be sold to them.
It has to be sold to them. And it's, in my thoughts, it's by design.
100%.
They have removed your self-worth so that they can then market to you self-worth so that they can then attach their product to it and make money.
And it's the same in politics.
Yep.
In politics, it doesn't even make sense. Like when you stop and pause to think about it, if you go listen to these campaigns in impoverished crime-ridden cities, listen to what they say is going to happen if the other guy, the other girl gets elected. Then think to yourself, well, you've been in power for decades in this country, in this city or country. You've been in power for this long, and the city's always been the same. And it's kind of I don't know, there's words that are used about cities like that I can't use on the air, but it's not going great. So you're telling me that if I elect the other guy, something bad's going to happen? Well, we've been electing you over and over and over again, and bad things are consistent. And you're trying to scare voters based on frightening promises about what will manifest itself should the other guy get in, because you've so successfully boiled people down to the what's. What color they are, what sexuality they are, what religion they are, what type of neighborhood they live in, what kind of economic status they're in. There's no human, I mean, if just think for a second, if we valued human life above all else, If we could collectively, as Republicans and Democrats and progressives and liberals and conservatives and everybody in between, if we all decided that the most valuable thing is human life. That's a pretty basic concept. That if you boil it down to that, like, who can say no to that? It's at the crux of it's at the crux of every single political problem that we have. How much do we value human life? And what are we willing to do to protect it? And I'm not talking about abortion, but I'm not talking about abortion. I'm talking about everything across the board. I'm talking about education. I'm talking about healthcare. I'm talking about crime. I'm talking about the way that we make the economy work for the people and not the people work for the government so that they can control the economy. I'm talking about the intrinsic value of human life, the innate reality that the most precious thing that we have is human life. We cannot value human life the way that we should if we start segregating human life by every demographic that exists on the sun. But it's once we segregate all those demographics, it's once we say, when we start referring to people as the blacks and the whites, and now we say brown people, and every time I go to say that, I hesitate, but that's what black and brown people, that is a phrase that we hear. We talk about LGBTQIA+, and I think that there are more after that. And when I say LGBTQIA+, I go through the whole thing because when I'm talking about it, I'm not looking to marginalize any of those people. It's unfair to imply that I ever was to begin with because you don't know me. And if you cared about me as a fellow human being, you would let me prove to you that I was trying to marginalize people before you would automatically apply and assume that just because I support a specific political candidate or a specific political policy that I therefore am some kind of bigot or hateful person. We care more about our political positions than we care about the humans in our life. We care more about winning arguments that never actually manifest any sort of positive trajectory of solving any problem anywhere, but yep, we put the point on our political side, and guess what? It's a scorebook for one. It's just yours, it's just mine. We win political fights, we lose political fights, we pass on political fights, but at the end, if that's all it is political fights, what kind of record is that at the end of the day? And I'll tell you the one thing before we go to break that really made me think about this is I was on my way. I had to run a bunch of errands because we got in late last night. I had to run a bunch of errands this morning. So I got leaving to go to work a little bit late. And I think it was about 11:08. And I was leaving my house, and down the road from my house, there's like 4 churches on my street. And I got to one of the Catholic churches, and right before I got there to pass it, a car pulled out, and it was from a funeral home. And then a long line of people went into traffic, blinkers on, funeral placards hanging in their rearview mirror. And the first thought I thought I had to myself was, oh my gosh, what happens if I'm late? What are they going to do? And as I sat there and I thought about it, I was like, you know what? If I'm 10 minutes late to be on the radio, which professionally would be really bad because I was behind a funeral procession that had a whole train of people behind it to go celebrate the life that is no longer here on this earth, to follow them to their final resting place. If I'm 10 minutes late and those 10 minutes are more important than that person's life, I'm doing it wrong. It's very, very important that as we march closer, 62 days from today, as we march closer to Election Day, every single time somebody comes on to tell you why you shouldn't vote for the other person, listen into how many times in their political ads they try to divide you. Even from the people on the other side of the political aisle. Don't let them do it. Don't give them that power. Vote however you want to vote. Vote for the person who's going to affect the policies that you want to see enacted in your representative government. Do that. Be strong on it. Speak for those things. But don't forget that above all else, the value of human life should transcend any of this stuff. And if you're not doing something in your life, in your spare time, in the time that you can make your spare time to fortify some sort of change in the direction of how we value one another for being who they are, not what they are, get involved. Find something you can do. There's plenty of need. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Wiggins America. Ryan Wiggins in studio. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Mike Murphy's on the phone with us this morning. He is currently the mayor up in Lexington, Minnesota. He's been active up there in politics.
America is the last place in the entire planet for freedom, and I'm not about to give it away to Joe Biden.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Well, it seems ironic that I would now be talking to you about Slim 180, but I do want to explain to you why I went with Slim 180. I know what it's like to have 20 pounds that you need to lose and to feel like everything that you're doing is just not working. It's not working fast enough. It's not something that has longevity. Slim 180 was that for me. Why did I want to lose weight? Well, because I was tired of the low energy. I was tired of feeling like I couldn't keep up with my kids. I didn't like that I didn't fit in my fun clothes, my good clothes. And I wanted to do something that made me feel good inside about who I was and what I was able to do with my family. And here's the other thing. It wasn't so much about a number on a scale. It was about being able to look myself in the face, in the mirror, and go, that's me. That's who I am. If you are looking in the mirror and you don't see that, if you feel like you need to take a step in a direction that makes you healthier, will you consider my friends at Slim 180? They did work for me. Go talk to them, have a free consultation, and ask them about what I did, how you can do what I did, or how they can customize something to your needs. Slim 180 will walk you through the whole process. You'll be glad you did. Go to myslim180.com.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, and if you're looking to get the exterior of your home or business repainted, CertaPro's expert painters can help. They focus on the power of timeliness, the power of inspiration, the power of doing it right, the power of localness, the power of minimal disruption. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated and can help make your home or business look amazing. Get your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I've hired CertaPro for more than a decade because the work is amazing. For your home or business and the power of pro, CertaPro painters.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Have you been waiting for the perfect time to get your Missouri medical marijuana card? Today is the day at 420id.com. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in. 420id.com is a BBB accredited business with over 16,000 happy Missouri patients. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420id.com. Open late every day until 9 p.m. Sign up for your Missouri medical marijuana card now at 420id.com and use promo code RADIO for $30 off today.
Sell your car the easy way at Bomarito. No matter what kind of vehicle you have or what shape it's in, car, truck, van, or SUV, just go to Bomarito.com. Answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll give you an instant real purchase offer. Then we'll come to you, or you come to us, and we'll pay you on the spot. So when you're ready to sell your vehicle, go to Bomarito first. A better experience, a better price, better service. The automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group, open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your HVAC system ready for summer with a cooling system check included with all maintenance plans from Air Comfort Service. Maintenance plans start at $15 per month. To get into your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Yo, mic check. Yeah, here you go.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
And how we're treating these people who are coming to our country because they're fleeing violence. They're fleeing a lack of economic opportunity. They were fleeing other kinds of persecution. This is what our country has been about. We open up our arms and we welcome those who have struggled to find a decent quality of life elsewhere. And the way that we welcome them is not what the governor of Texas is doing. It is absolutely un-American. And I urge him, he professes to be a Christian. This is not the Christianity and the teachings of the Bible that I know.
Wiggins! Oh, Wiggins!
Hey, Ryan Wiggins.
Hello, and welcome back. So that is Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot bashing Texas Governor Greg Abbott over the holiday weekend on the basis of his religion, claiming that the state's migrant busing initiative went against the premise of Christianity.
What is the premise of Christianity? It's kind of a key question.
That's kind of what I wanted to ask is, what do you think? Whenever I hear these kind of things, I initially want to go into just apologetics and attack it based on the merits of the argument itself. I want to step back and have this conversation with you in the time that we have and ask you, when you hear these kind of things, do you think it's appropriate, good or bad, neither, to bring somebody's religion into a political argument like this?
Well, they're not doing it for the sake of religion. They're doing it for the sake of politics. I think doing anything for this, I think using and manipulating religion for the sake of anything other than religion is wrong. Like, it doesn't have to be a political slap fight.
Yeah.
To all of a sudden be like, oh, let's talk about your religious faith.
Yeah.
Because even in like when you brought this up off air, I'll just like say this for the people listening. I said, I don't want to get into like a super deep theological conversation about it because the three people in this room are all professed Christians and believe different things. So you could say something, Ryan, Brad could say something, I as a Lutheran could say something, and the other two people in the room would go, well.
That's true. That is very true. I think though, with this kind of thing, it's just based on politics. It's usually, in my opinion, rather politically off-putting to everybody who hears it, regardless of whether you're a Christian, whether you're not. It just seems like one of those things that seems pandery and a little bit below the belt to anybody who hears it.
Not if you're atheist or agnostic.
Yeah, they love taking the shot.
Yeah, because to them it's not even religion or nah, it's Christianity or not. And the reason why it's so frustrating to people who are on the I will just specifically say Christianity side is because the idea, going back to the original question, is what did she say? The tenets of
she says,
religion.
quote, he professes to be a Christian. This is not the Christianity and the teachings of the Bible that I know. And I think religious leaders all across the country are standing up and denouncing exactly this.
That's nonsense. Because the idea of Christianity is not about being a good person. It just isn't. It's the fact that you are born into not being a good person.
Right.
And if you were born into not being a good person, I mean, point to all the people in your life who were perfect. Yep, nobody. The idea that Christianity is somehow like about pointing out that people are sinful Like, that's the whole stinking point. The whole idea of Christianity is the idea that we are broken people. And the only way that we can be made unbroken is by somebody who was perfect. And literally, thank God that happened. So the idea of Christianity being applied from a mayor in Chicago to a governor in Texas for a political disagreement because one person deems this to be good and this to be bad or evil and that to be, and the other that to be good or that to be bad and evil. None of it is about, nobody is saying, I'm a sinner and I need Jesus. We could probably all agree on that.
Can I take another angle on this too?
Go ahead,
and I have one too. Go ahead.
I am so tired of people telling me that I can't comment on abortion because I am not a woman.
This is a good point. This is a good point.
And yet they are not Christians, and they're coming in and telling me, well, listen, your Bible says this. And it's like, you don't even know.
Okay, so that's
point. Well,
yes, that's a very good point. And I'll actually make the point and say I like it, whether it be Lori Lightfoot, because this happens every now and then. Remember Nancy Pelosi? Well, I pray for him. These things where you go, really? What did you just do?
I'm taking so many pictures right now.
But when that happens, my argument is pretty consistent that initially I want to jump into what's being said, but I always want to back out then and go, wait a minute. I like, whether it's being done for political motives or the wrong motives, I like when people bring faith into it, because what they're saying is, even if they don't believe it, this is a good standard to use. And you're not living up to that standard.
I don't think so. I don't think that's what they're saying. They're throwing the standard out there because the standard is based on fallible logic. They're saying the standard of Christianity is being a good person. That's not the standard of Christianity. The standard of Christianity is that you're an admitted sinner that needs a savior. And when Lori Lightfoot comes out and says, how can you be a Christian and do bad things? It's like, you don't get it, lady. You just don't. So you can't take your measuring stick out and take your ruler to try to measure the volume in a cylinder. You've got the wrong tools to measure the thing that you're trying to judge on.
These are good points. But I
really like Brad's point.
Yeah, I do too.
Because he made one that's on logic, not on theology. I like that. All right, stick around. More Annie Frey Show, including Deroy Murdock, when we come back.
Flip it round, now bring it on back.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
Jen Teskey, if you are looking for someone to help you sell or purchase a house, she's it. She's been in the studio with us. She played X's and O's with us before. You got to meet her and got to know her a little bit. She is so good at what she does. It requires a certain kind of personality to be able to come in and assess the situation, to look at your home and say, this is how you maximize the asking price of selling your home. This is what you need to do. And don't waste any of your time doing that other thing. Jen Teskey wants to talk to you. She's with RE/MAX Alliance. She wants to talk to you if you're thinking about selling your home in the future. You can call her. You can text her at 618-541-1010. They'll help you assess your home. They'll help guide you in the direction of what needs to be improved or what you don't need to spend time on, and give you an honest estimate of what she thinks that you can get in the current market. She's also helping people protest their property taxes. Just saying. Reach out to her, Jen Teskey, realtor with RE/MAX Alliance, at 618-541-1010.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A white
White House reunion. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Former President Barack Obama and the former First Lady are there right now for the official unveiling of their White House portraits. It's not the former president's first trip back, though, since the election of President Biden, who served as his vice president. The president plans to detail what he calls this generation's moonshot to fight cancer in a speech announced today, but set for next week.
Cancer is a personal issue for President Biden after his son Beau passed away in 2015 from brain cancer. The president has an ambitious goal of cutting the rate of cancer deaths in half within the next 25 years, as well as improve treatments and quality of life for those impacted. The president travels to Boston Monday to lay out his plans at the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library on the 60th anniversary of President Kennedy's speech about putting a man on the moon.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. The Cancer Moonshot Initiative was first launched while he was vice president. New York's governor announces a big change in COVID protocols.
Citing a steep drop in the overall number of COVID cases and hospitalizations, Governor Hochul announces masks will no longer be mandatory for riders on the state's mass transit systems.
Starting today, masks will be optional.
The governor made the announcement just before getting her Omicron-targeted booster shot, saying that while the situation has stabilized, the masks were always a symbol of the COVID pandemic's impact.
It's always been a visible reminder that something is not normal here, and it was there for the right reason. It protected health. And now we're in a far different place than we had been.
The mask requirement does remain in place for health facilities, including nursing homes.
Fox's Kevin Uretsky. New York's transit masking mandate remained in place even after the CDC lifted its recommendation. America is listening to Fox News.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with a push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
When a nasty cold keeps you up all night, Vicks NyQuil Severe gives you powerful relief from your worst cold and flu symptoms, which changes a night that sounds like this into a night that sounds more like this. Ah, that's better. NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, sore throat, stuffy head, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Quiet times, high pressure in control. Our high temperature today should pop out at about 82 degrees, partly to mostly sunny skies. Nice evening on the way. Partly cloudy skies, quick drop into the upper 70s. 65 for the overnight low. We're approaching the full moon. That comes up early Saturday. The harvest moon. Thursday, sunny and 83. Friday, sunny and 85. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
If you're a fan of 97.1, get a t-shirt. Visit 971talk.com/merch to see all the new t-shirt designs and show your support for St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Multiple options from the Mark Cox Morning Show, the Annie Fry Show, and the Mark Reardon Show. 971talk.com/merch. Pick your show, pick your size. They're all there. 97.1 FM Talk.
IGotFloor.com is the website. If you're looking to shop for flooring, please consider going to support our friends at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They have all of the top brands that you are looking for in your shopping pursuit, but they also have great opportunities for you to shop on a budget. Whatever your needs are, if you are looking for a hardwood look, if you're looking for a carpeting look, if you were looking for something in your commercial building, something to replace maybe the dingy carpet that was there before, and now you want to do some nice luxury vinyl plank flooring, whatever it is, you can go to Michael's Flooring Outlet. You're going to be paired with the best customer sales staff in the business that are going to walk you through with the idea of your budget in mind, how you can achieve the best look, the best customer service experience, in the business. A locally owned and operated family business at Michael's Flooring Outlet with kind people, with good people who value you as a customer. That's why quality and value is so important to them. They have multiple locations across the St. Louis region. You can find all the details online at igotfloored.com.
Let the Dave Munganast Pre-Owned Center on South Limburg put you behind the wheel of your next vehicle. Customers are seeing that when you choose the Dave Munganast Pre-Owned Center in South County, you're getting more than a great deal. You're joining the Munganast family. Come see the difference at davemunganast.com since 1965.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Do you want to walk and stay healthy, but cannot because you are in pain?
I just had difficulty walking. I could not walk in bare feet at all.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts from the drugstore with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet system fits in all your shoes, so come to the Good Feet store and become pain-free today.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn's.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AA MCO.
You know, the heat doesn't matter. The rain doesn't matter. When it gets cold in a few months, the snow and sleet won't matter to the outside of my house because I have Rhino Shield. You've heard me say that before, but I'm just telling you, 15 years ago, before I was on this radio station, that's a long time ago, I signed up for Rhino Shield. Darren came over. He showed me this great product. I'm like, why would I worry about painting every couple of years when I could do this? And I did it. And I'm just as happy today as I was the day that I made that decision all those years ago. And I've still got 10 years left on a 25-year warranty. Think about that. How many products can you buy where you get that kind of guarantee? Call Darren and let him come over and give you a free estimate. If you're thinking about painting, stop. Put Rhino Shield on instead. 877-25-RHINO is the phone number. Still plenty of time to get scheduled for this summer, or go online to find out more at 877-25rhino.com. Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
All the sports, music, news, and podcasts that you want are on the free Odyssey app. Download it today and listen to 97.1 anywhere. Right here, right now. 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
This is what is expensive, because in these peak demands, the expensive gas comes into the market. So what we have to do is flatten the curve and avoid the peak demands. We will propose a mandatory target for reducing electricity use at peak hours, and we will work very closely with the member states to achieve this.
Oh boy, we're flattening curves again. Brace yourself. That's the EU Minister Ursula von der Leyen. I don't know if I'm saying that right, as far as we know. We're flattening the curve because of our energy usage peaks. You trust that in the hands of government, don't you? Well, I think it's important to understand that the biggest problem that was facing the United States here in the last probably 2 months or so, inflation, Joe Biden and his Democrat-controlled Congress has worked to fix that with the Inflation Reduction Act. Oh, except for the fact that it's probably just working to flatten the curve for overuse of energy in our country. Deroy Murdock knows a little bit about this, and he joins us once again. He's a nationally syndicated columnist, a Fox News contributor, and a founding member of Project 21. Deroy, welcome back to the show.
Andy, great to talk to you again.
When I hear them saying they're going to flatten the curve because of energy usage, those are just things that frighten me because I feel like I've been down this path before.
Well, I feel like what's getting flattened is the American people. I mean, we've gone from COVID to all this inflation and shortages of everything from baby formula to tampons. And now we've got mandates in California saying you better buy yourself an electric vehicle because you won't be able to buy one that runs on gasoline. And the very next day, don't plug in your electric vehicles because if you do, the grid might melt. I find this astonishing. I mean, it's almost comedic, except that it's so tragic.
I want to ask you about the juxtaposition of the title, the Inflation Reduction Act, and then when you get into the bill that they passed, what they're willing to do in the name of protecting the global community from the human effects of climate change. I mean, they're really going hard at trying to stop some of this stuff from happening.
Oh, they are. I mean, this includes, I don't have it in front of me right now, but I think it's somewhere in the vicinity of about 369 billion, I think is the number, 370 billion or so for the fight against global warming. And this includes all sorts of subsidies for electric vehicles and for solar panels and for wind turbines and on and on and on. And a lot of this stuff, I think, is just going to turn out to be payoffs for people, the Democrats' friends in the green energy industry. And the saddest thing about this is if you really believe global warming is a problem and that this is going to wipe us out and we're all going to be, boiling to death, well, fine. Okay, let's pass a bill and let's go ahead and lower the temperature by, a degree or 2 or 3. Very smart man by the name of Bjorn Lomborg of the Copenhagen Consensus Center. He's an expert in all this stuff. He took the Inflation Reduction Act and all of the global warming provisions, put it into the United Nations climate models. And according to his calculations, between now and the year 2100, it will lower temperatures by 0.009 degrees Fahrenheit, or if everything goes well, 0.028 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be like taking the thermostat on your wall and turning it down from 72 degrees down to either 71.991 degrees Fahrenheit, or if everything goes well and this whole thing turns out that we want, 71.972 degrees Fahrenheit. In other words, this isn't going to do anything about global warming. So if you're really concerned about global warming and it's a problem, we need to fix it. It doesn't fix it while sitting $739 billion with a B $billion on fire in new taxes and new spending. This is a total hoax that makes Bernard Madoff look like an honest man.
We're speaking with Deroy Murdock here, Fox News contributor and nationally syndicated columnist, member of Project 21. I think that if I were as committed to, I'll just use Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's words from 4 years ago or something, where she said we had 12 years to go. So I guess we're counting down to round 8 in my math. If I were of the mind that the end of the world was imminent, that I would be doing everything in my power to attract people to the solutions that I thought might be at hand, as opposed to dividing people and using it as a bludgeoning device to people who you may politically disagree with on other terms. If I was that concerned about the imminent danger that we and our children are going to be in due to climate change, I just feel like I would take a different path and a tactic to try to make sure that the world didn't end.
Well, look, if you're really concerned about this, you think we've got, 8 years before we all drop dead. One of the easiest and fastest ways to reduce carbon dioxide by about 50% is to use natural gas and shift from coal and oil to natural gas and get as many gas-powered electric plants going as we can. Now, this isn't zero carbon, but this is a 50% reduction, which is significant. We can do it right now. We don't need to develop any new technology. We've already got the fracking to do it. We have all the machinery to do it. Versus if you want to do electric vehicles, we're going to have to do a tremendous amount of digging in order to get all of the cobalt and nickel and copper and everything else that you need in order to produce these electric cars. For example, if you look at your typical Tesla or Prius, whatever, these batteries weigh about 1,000 pounds. They're not the little small batteries you pick up at Pep Boys. There's 1,000 pounds. And they require typically, this is according to Mark Mills of the Manhattan Institute, 25 pounds of lithium, 30 pounds of cobalt, 60 pounds of nickel, 90 pounds of copper, 110 pounds of graphite, about 400 pounds of steel, plus aluminum and plastic. Now, in order to get that, you've got to go and mine this stuff out of the ground, which is very destructive to the earth with all the, mining and machinery and tailings and all this business. And you've got to pull something like 250 tons of dirt and rock out of the ground in order to get the ore to produce all of this, these resources. In order to process this stuff, you have to use a whole lot of energy to turn cobalt ore into cobalt rather, nickel ore into nickel, etc. And according to Mr. Miller's calculations, you would have to use the energy from 100 barrels of oil to produce one battery that has the power of 1 barrel of oil. So 100 barrels of oil of energy to produce a battery that has about 1 barrel of oil's worth of energy. This is insane. This is beyond Ponzi scheme. This is crazy. And even you might be able to respect it, as I say, if it could reduce global warming by some significant amount. But it doesn't even do that while wasting a ton of money and tearing up the countryside with either deep mines, strip mines, and then a lot of processing and energy used to turn ore into these rare metals and other materials. This is insanity. It has nothing to do with cleaning up the environment, but a lot to do with controlling people. And I think, as I say, paying off the donors to the Democrat Party.
Deroy, I'm with you on that, because when I look at how the problem of climate change is addressed, I think a lot of people agree that the climate is changing. I'm one who thinks that the climate has always been changing and will continue to change.
Climate's change.
Yes, correct. And I think about the idea that it used to be global warming, but it's unfortunate when it's not warming, it's cooling. So they change it to climate change, which is something that always happens. Yes. But what confuses me sort of is the idea that the people who are out talking about these issues are very elite people, but they're also the people who can afford to purchase carbon offsets. Like, what's a carbon offset? You can purchase this thing and then you put it in your accessory bag and you carry it around and you hand out the virtue whenever it actually ends up benefiting you. But in California, who's being told to turn their air conditioning units up to 78? A mom with a 2-year-old kid at home who's trying to figure out how they're going to go through a heat wave and make sure that they can keep all the people in their homes comfortable, and they live in the United States of America. I mean, this is a high-class problem with a middle-class and a lower-class solution, and I just don't understand how Americans across the board are going, take a hike.
I totally agree with you. I was in Southern California last week visiting my mom and dad and my middle sister, and we got up to about 112 degrees in the high desert where they live. Now, good news, it drops down about 75 at night, but I got to tell you, about 1 or 2 in the afternoon, it was just broiling. And, we put on the AC, but my dad, who's, retired and not exactly, there's no income really right now. Okay, 1 hour of AC, maybe we should turn it off now. And of course, there are people with even less means than my parents have who can't really afford to do that because they're trying to buy food or trying to buy gasoline at high prices, buy clothes for their kids or whatever it might be. And, if you're John Kerry and you fly about in your own private jet, you don't have to worry about this kind of thing. But if you're a, young couple with 3 or 4 kids, trying to put them through school and trying to feed them and buy them clothes and books and everything else, this becomes difficult. You might say, well, kids, just open a window and fan yourselves. We don't have the money to turn the AC on, especially when electricity prices are soaring and so on.
It reminds me of right when COVID hit the country and local government, state government started reacting in a way that was closing everybody down. And there was this wave of narcissism that came out of celebrity culture where they showed themselves in their mansions being like, let's do this together. And it's like, oh, well, you can go to wings of your house that you have not visited before. And the rest of America is trying to figure out where their next meal comes from. I mean, the out of touch nature of the people who are pushing these types of issues politically, when they don't understand the ramifications on real, everyday, middle-class Americans, is one of the biggest problems facing our country right now.
No, I think you're right about that. You just take a look at Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who said to an open mic, he said, the pain is the point. The more people have to pay for gasoline, the more likely they'll get out of gas-powered cars and go buy electric vehicles. Now, first of all, an electric vehicle costs about average 66,000 versus a gas-powered car, which I think is usually somewhere in the 30s or 40s. So it's a lot more money. Electricity prices are high and rising. So once you plug it in, that can be very expensive. And number three, even if everyone said, yep, you're right, you know what, we better get electric vehicles, the supply of that is very limited. And as I mentioned, all of the lithium and cobalt and manganese and all this other stuff that you need to make them, we don't have a lot of that stuff sitting around. So even if everyone said, yep, you're right, we're going to go get our EVs, we don't have the capacity to meet that demand. And I don't think we will anytime soon. And then even if we did, what's going to happen when people go home and plug in their cars at 5 or 6 o'clock? And, every night you have a meltdown of the grid because the grid's not been brought up to snuff to handle all of this. So this is an elite problem being addressed by elite people who are out of touch. And ultimately, they are creating solutions that only work if you have a magic wand or magic powers, or you live at Hogwarts or something like this. These people are in just a complete, a private Idaho would be an improvement over whatever fantasy land they occupy today.
Yeah, I'm longing for the days of common sense. I just feel like we're not quite there yet. Deroy, you always bring common sense to us each Wednesday. We're always grateful for it. Thanks for being here.
Annie, great to talk to you. Thank you.
You as well. Bye-bye. Fox News contributor, nationally syndicated columnist, and founding member of Project 21. Go to project21.org. Let's take a quick break. I teased this a little bit earlier. I think we're going to get Ryan back in the studio to discuss this with Brad and me. But, we in Wiggins America, we're talking about Lori Lightfoot, and we're talking about her application of what kind of Christian are you, Governor Abbott? Okay. Is that a worthy conversation? Well, I've got something else to add to that. And I teased this a little bit earlier, and I'm going to deliver it when we come back. There is a celebrity out there who has given a big interview. And part of what she talked about is Roe v. Wade and her experience that involves some pretty dramatic emotional experiences. You'd think that her perspective on that might have changed. And I'm going to tell you who that celebrity is and the details about it. And I think you'll be as confused as I am. Ryan Wiggins, Brad in studio with me to discuss this in a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. More than ever, this is where St. Louis is coming to talk. Computer, smart speaker, radio, phone. People are gathering here. Thanks for listening and staying connected. 97.1 FM Talk.
Why are some people afraid to enjoy their retirement? And why are some people so worried about spending money during their golden years? Maybe it's because they're afraid of running out of money. Maybe they're afraid of depleting their nest egg, either through spending too much or through investment strategies that could result in losses. Hi, my name is Ken Heise of Heise Advisory Group. Do you have a fear of depleting your savings and running out of money too soon? Let me help put your mind at ease. I can help you create an optimal retirement income distribution strategy that helps to maximize income from your retirement savings and eliminate your fear of running out of money. Call 314-328-6000 today and schedule your complimentary retirement roadmap review with our team. That's 314-328-6000. Again, that's 314-328-6000.
Heise Advisory Group provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Well, I know you're getting Andrea sauce because people are sending me pictures of getting Andrea sauce at Schnucks and Dierbergs and stores around town and going to the restaurant in Fairview Heights, Illinois, and you can pick up a bottle there, of course. It has been such a great weekend. Man, the weather, aside from the rain this weekend, it has been amazing. And Labor Day night, we got to enjoy the grill at my dad's house. He was making pork tenderloin. Sometimes he makes steaks, sometimes he makes pork tenderloin, and man, we were all talking about how that meat in particular is one that's overlooked. When you have Andrea's sauce, though, you can really get almost any meat, and it's going to raise the level of the meat. So, yes, you can get the amazing steaks that you can only get in Andrea's restaurant. You're going to love those, of course. That's like a special occasion. But you can just get average stuff at the grocery store and take it up a couple levels just by having Andrea's sauce. Again, it is locally famous and world-renowned. It's made right here in St. Louis, right there actually on the grounds of the restaurant and in Fairview Heights. So visit them in Fairview and, of course, get a bottle of Andrea's sauce, like I said, at Schnucks or Dierbergs or at Andreas.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, September 7th, we're running an unprecedented one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. Even Cambridge has studied our technology. If you're ready to transform your love life, grab your phone. Today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. Also, you'll get a gift that can produce powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that, guys. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, worth $1,200. But call today, Wednesday, and qualify totally free. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 314-530-7777.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuyshomesaintlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com, Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Chris Buys Homes in St. or call 314-782-8000.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Do you believe there should be any exceptions at all, or should there be
there's
for
a
women
difference
to have
between I think
an
the
abortion?
law is going to be and what I support. I believe innocent human life is worthy of the protection of our laws. But I have voted and would vote for bills, if I were in the state legislature, that had restrictions, because I'm in support of any bill that saves lives. And the overwhelming majority of abortions occur outside of some of these commonly discussed. I know it's not a majority position. Many people probably don't agree with me. You probably couldn't pass it. That's why Florida did a 4-month.
Marco Rubio there commenting on whether or not he'd vote for laws that had any exceptions when it comes to abortion. Ryan, what do you think about what he just said there?
I think what he's talking about is political compromise, and it's something that you have to do, especially on an issue like this. You're moving the ball forward no matter which way you're going right now, and I think that that's not a bad thing, what he's saying. It's not a purist thing, but it's not a bad thing.
So then in his next Senate primary, Marco Rubio voted for legislation that supports abortions at 14 weeks.
That's exactly what will happen.
Still worth doing it?
That's a political consequence that he's going to have to deal with. I still think it's worth doing it. If he believes that's the right way to move the ball forward, then he's got to do that.
Brad?
Yeah, I go back and forth on this. I think that every human life is valuable, and I don't think that it's valuable.
You're not allowed to talk about this. You're a man.
Yeah, I am.
Go listen to the first segment or the second segment.
Yeah, I'm not a man. Why were we asking? I'm a man. I'm not allowed to talk about this. But I think that every human life is valuable, and I think that every effort can be made and should be made to save the life of both parties involved. And
by parties you mean mother and child.
The mother and child.
Not Republican and Democrat.
Yeah. And
well, it's good that you're for all parties.
I don't
except for the forward part.
I don't see the value in human life. Like, it's that moral conundrums. Like, what if it's the train on the track where you have to pull the lever and save 2 people who you don't know versus 1 person who you do. Like, this is a decision that nobody should ever have to make. And I'm okay with laws that, like, make exceptions in the event of, we know that both lives would be lost.
This is Marco Rubio specifically is like Marco Rubio is a life guy. He is super pro-life. Marco Rubio is an elected politician is saying, I would vote if let's just blanket statement. This isn't the case, but let's say that abortion is legal all the way up to birth right now. If somebody put out legislation that would federally ban abortions after 30 weeks, should that be voted in favor of?
Yes. Because it's 30 weeks as opposed to however many weeks are
That's
in
what
9
Marco
months.
Rubio is saying there. That is a step in the direction of protecting lives. It's not the end of, that's not where you stop fighting, but you take those steps as you get them. That is political compromise, which is a very dirty word. Yep. And I know, and I get this in the primaries, man. Primaries, I'm so glad when the primaries are over, because people ask me all the time, or they'll say to me about candidates, especially locally, because y'all get all those flyers in your mailbox. I hate them. They're all so misleading. Such and such voted to raise taxes on blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what is being put onto that thing is not actually in context what happened. In that scenario I just made up there, if Marco Rubio is saying that he would vote for, if the law was abortion legal up till birth, if a law, and I'm just throwing this out there as like a made up suggestion, if a law was proposed that would say we're going to ban all abortions after 30 weeks, he's saying if this will save 10 weeks of babies, we should do this and then keep fighting. It takes so much time to explain that.
Yes.
That in the fast-paced political primary world with so much money that is saturated into it, we lose the idea of, lowercase p progress to win an issue, because politicians won't take that step, because then the campaign ads are going to say Marco Rubio voted in favor of aborting babies up to 30 weeks. And it requires a smart and educated voter to know the difference and the context. And we don't have that. We don't have people investing in that. We have people investing in dumbing everybody down. There's a story I've been teasing this throughout the show. Have you heard about the Jennifer Lawrence Vogue interview?
Yes, I have.
You have. So this is making a lot of stories, and every time it pops up, it must have been a pretty wide-ranging interview.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, because what you're talking about is a different aspect of it than what I read about.
Are you the Robert De Niro?
No, I didn't even know about that one either.
That's another one. We'll talk about that later, because it's a funny story. I like Jennifer Lawrence as an actress. I think she's a very good actress. I think she's a very funny. She to me exudes what I think it means to be a strong female actress, person, celebrity. I think her politics are pretty screwed up. Are you thinking about Tucker Carlson?
Yes.
Okay, that's the other. That's the other
there's
story.
others too.
Yeah, that's the other story. So I'm just going to read through. This is from NBC News, because the headline here that brought me in: Jennifer Lawrence reveals she had 2 miscarriages before 30. And Jennifer Lawrence says she had 2 miscarriages before welcoming her first child. The Oscar-winning actor, 32, says she was in her 20s when she got pregnant and planned on having an abortion before she lost the baby. She said in this October issue of Vogue coming up, "I had a miscarriage alone in Montreal." Lawrence was married to Cook Maroney a few years later when she got pregnant again while shooting Don't Look Up. She wanted to have the baby, but had another miscarriage, undergoing a dilation and curettage. Is that how you say it? It's D&C is how I understand it. A procedure in which tissue is removed from the uterus. So basically, when you miscarry, my miscarriage happened at about 8 weeks, and they said that I could go through that process, or I could wait a few days and see if it needed to happen, and I opted not to. I didn't want to go through it if I didn't have to. But basically, they force the cleansing of your uterus. So she had to go through that D&C. That is an incredibly traumatic experience for anybody who's had to go through that. NBC News says the experiences have stuck with Lawrence, especially in the wake of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade in June. She said, "I remember a million times thinking about it while I was pregnant, thinking about the things that were happening to my body. And I had a great pregnancy. I had a very fortunate pregnancy, but every single second of my life was different. And it would occur to me sometimes, what if I was forced to do this?" They welcomed their baby in February. and his name is Cy. So this is like the first half of the story. That's an interesting. Can you sum up for me what you kind of think about her experience? Like what you've learned so far about Jennifer Lawrence, 2 miscarriages.
Just from that?
Just from that so far.
Well, it seemed like she's being pretty honest about where she's come from, where she's going. It seems as if what she's saying sounds like she's pro-abortion. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I get from it.
Brad, anything that you want to add specifically?
Not specifically.
The thing that I got from that the most is that through her experience of 3 pregnancies, 2 that ended in miscarriage and 1 that resulted in her son, Cy, born in February, that was a very Jennifer-centered experience. All 3 of them. The pregnancy was a very Jennifer-centered experience. NBC News goes on to report more quote from Jennifer Lawrence. It's so scary to talk about motherhood, only because it's so different for everybody. If I say it was amazing from the start, some people will think it wasn't amazing for me at first, and then they'll feel bad. Fortunately, I have so many girlfriends who are honest, who are like, it's scary. You might not connect right away. You might not fall in love right away. So I felt so prepared to be forgiving. I remember walking with one of my best friends at like 9 months and being like, everybody keeps saying that I will love my baby more than my cat. But that's not true. Maybe I'll love him as much as my cat.
Okay.
Again, we are still on the Jennifer side of this experience, which I think is important to note in this NBC News article. It goes on to report, becoming a mother changed her entire perspective too. She said, the morning after I gave birth, I felt like my whole life had started over. Like now is day 1 of my life. I just stared. I was just so in love. I also fell in love with all babies everywhere. Newborns are just so amazing. They're these pink, swollen, fragile little survivors. Now I love all babies. Now I hear a baby crying in a restaurant and I'm like, oh, precious. So many of my films in the past have been about my mother, my childhood. I wonder what will happen now that I'll be witnessing somebody else's childhood. And I wonder what he's going to be talking about with his therapist. She wouldn't put me down. She kisses me on the mouth. She asked me not to go to college. NBC reports, for Lawrence, having a child shifted her entire way of seeing the world. She said, my heart has stretched to a capacity that I didn't know about. I include my husband in that. And then they're both just like out there walking around, crossing streets. He's going to drive one day. He's going to be a stupid teenager and be behind the wheel of a car. And I'm just going to be like, good night, you know, like who sleeps? That is a hell of an article for me. That experience doesn't happen if the baby doesn't happen. And it's not, I mean, boy, I've talked about pregnancy on this show. I've got 4 kids. If you're new, some people refer to it as dozens. This is just 4. I had 1 miscarriage in between my 2nd and 3rd. But we have conversations about Roe v. Wade, and we have conversations about the woman's body and her right to make decisions for her own body. But even in the journey of this 300-word story on NBC News, we're talking about a celebrity who she's interviewed by Vogue about her pregnancies, she says, I can't help but think about the Roe v. Wade decision and being forced to go through this process. But she admits in the same article that after the fact, after she goes through the process of having this child, that it's the first day of her life and she can't stop looking at this baby. I don't know how you can reconcile that in one article. It blows my mind. I just want to say to Jennifer, like, you get it.
You
hear
what you're saying.
You get it. You understand it. It's right there in front of you. And it's okay to say to people, I was wrong about this because I didn't know. I didn't understand. I was not aware because I didn't know. And there are so many people invested in telling her that she is a kind of woman, a strong, independent, confident woman, when she said, I wanted to have an abortion, but she ended up losing that baby instead. She is to be celebrated for being a powerful woman who's making choices for herself. But the thing that is the most powerful in her life, enough to say that it was the first day of the rest of her life, was the baby that was privileged to be born to her. How does this not just knock people over?
it's actually one of the things that I got sucked into reading a little bit of this article. I didn't even see this aspect of it because, like we said, there's about 20 stories that have come out of this one interview. But she's being pretty honest across the board when she's talking about this stuff. But the quote that she said there that you read, she calls the baby a little pink survivor or a survivor,
Her
little
words.
baby.
It's unbelievable. And to sit here and to look at her journey, like, listen, Jennifer Lawrence might, if like this is going to get back to Jennifer Lawrence. It's not. But let's imagine for a second that Jennifer Lawrence hears this and she thinks that this is me saying to her, see, you were wrong. Look, it's not. What she lacked in her first opinion was two things: experience and information. And she couldn't have gotten the information. There's a difference between sympathy and empathy. You can sympathize with somebody who you care for and you identify that they might benefit from the understanding that you care for them and that you were with them in whatever they're going through. But there is, when you have empathy and you see somebody going through something, that is a powerful, powerful thing. And there are women across our country, across the world, but folks, we are primitive in the way we handle abortion in this country. We are behind the times. The countries that we are in company with in our willingness to just off unwanted children is really, really shocking. There are women who are going through life when they're young and they're being told one thing that later in life they experience the other side of it because at that point in their life, they just chose to go through with it. There's no way that they can't look back on the earlier part of their life and say, was I wrong about that? And there's probably an enormous amount of shame in even thinking that thought, and even more so in coming out and saying that out in the open. They're not going to. But I have to think that heart, that, like she said, it changes you. And we can't talk about any of that because the issue is so polarized that if Jennifer Lawrence were to hear this, and she does not care what I think, and I am totally self-aware about that. I would just want to say, I'm a mom like you too. And I would want her to know that her story about what it was like to become a first-time mother, I want more people to know that side of it.
Yeah, I think that's what's she's saying here and in the rest of that interview. It's not filtered through, and this is where you see so many interviews, they're filtered through the lens of how are people going to take this? And she doesn't seem to be doing that. It's pretty refreshing.
It's
regardless.
all politics.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe not for political office, but it's still politics.
Yeah, how do I kind of toe the line, make sure I'm saying something that's within bounds? And she's not really doing that. I appreciate that from the interview.
I agree. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to pose the question, are you a MAGA Republican? I would like to know in the comment section on the Annie Frey YouTube Live, do you consider yourself a MAGA Republican? Also, do you think that you would be considered a MAGA Republican? Those are two very different questions. Also, vote in the YouTube Live chat poll. Do you prefer a political system that represents more than two parties? Yes, no, or yes, but it's not feasible? Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Cast your vote. Leave a comment. We'll be back in a minute.
Tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Julie Kelly, senior contributor to American Greatness. Do you think that Merrick Garland went rogue on this?
Biden instructed the archivist to turn over those materials to the FBI.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Whatever your economic situation is right now, I'm curious if you do know the rate that you're paying on your mortgage. A lot of people do. Some people don't. Maybe a lot of people don't. When you reach out to Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, you can talk to him about the rates that are available. He is going to compete and beat your locked-in rate and get you the lowest one available. Why would you consider refinancing right now? You might think this isn't the time to do that. Well, Compare it to the rest of your financial obligations. Do you have piling up credit card debt? Prices have gone up on virtually everything. If you've got high interest loans that you are looking to pay back and equity in your house, a bagel loan with Stewart's American Mortgage is pretty much a no-brainer. When you use the bagel loan with Stewie, you pay zero in fees that other lenders out there will charge you for. This is a way to refinance to get yourself in a much better economical position in a way that doesn't cost you all that money up front. He doesn't take the fees and tuck them away and hide them away over the course of your loan. He simply doesn't charge you those fees. For your home purchase or for your refinance, your cash out refinance, call my friend Stewie. I'm a 2-time customer of his, and I think you will like it as well. 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Man, I slept.
New ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep is made for people who are tired of being tired.
I've never slept like this before. I've never woken up like this before.
A melatonin-free sleep aid made with a botanical blend that contains clinically studied and effective valerian root, hops, and passion flower, shown to help promote better restorative sleep. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep. Sleep this good, feel this good. Available at retailers near you.
Dak Prescott here. Why do I choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because better sleep elevates my game. Only my Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps me fall asleep faster, keeps me cool, and effortlessly adjusts for my best sleep. The result? 28 minutes more restful sleep a night. That's more focus, more edge, and more highlights. And that means more wins for all of us.
Don't miss the final days of the biggest sale of the year. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
Oh, Hank, what a wonderful spider web you have built for us. I love this fabulous space we have right here in the corner of the kitchen.
Thanks, Charlotte. I think I'll build us a vacation web in the coat closet. Maybe even one in Susie's room, too. Oh, no. It's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They always kill the mood.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone with a new HVAC system and see if you qualify for 0% financing and $100 to $900 in utility rebates. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
If it's bumper to bumper or smooth sailing, Sue Thomas has you covered with dependable traffic. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
When I get so throwing it on you, you got to come back for more. Other things that come by the dozen, I ain't nothing but drugs, no love. Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, cause the mama, I'm sure all the hand and I just around.
I don't mind being taxed more. I wrote a blog 20 years ago saying it's the most patriotic thing you can do after military service is pay your taxes, because that's what allows everybody, to live and to prosper. But yeah, the idea of just soak the rich, billionaire tears that sell that cup. Screw you, Elizabeth Warren. You're everything wrong with politics.
You know, in a world where there's more than two parties, Mark Cuban is probably the leader of one of them. Today's Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll: do you prefer a political system that represents more than two parties? Your options are threefold: yes, no, or yes, but it's not feasible. Real quick before we go into the whole MAGA Republican conversation, Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Yes, but it's not feasible in this country anyway. I think it is feasible to do somewhere in a lot of places around the world, but not here. I don't think it's going to happen.
Why would you prefer it?
Just because I think the parliamentary system is good because it represents some different factions of conservatism, liberalism, different things like that. If you're really passionate about one thing, you can really jump into one aspect of it. Whereas we're very much more binary, so you have to kind of take the good with the bad. You don't have to do that as much in a parliamentary system.
What do you think, Brad?
I think no. I'm not in support of it. I see no difference really between a two-party system and a parliamentary system, other than labeling the factions that exist within the two sides of the two parties.
Yeah, I would be a no vote. I just think that the party that's going to win is going to be the one that is able to coalesce the other parties that would obviously be smaller. But I know that, like, you know, there are libertarians out there. You know who they are because it's the first thing they tell you about themselves.
And I also do CrossFit.
Yeah, that too.
I'm a libertarian and I do CrossFit.
Yeah, or am I a CrossFitter who is a libertarian?
They're usually one that stands right next to you in the stall too, to tell you.
I don't want to go into that.
I do. Our CrossFit is CrossFit a libertarian hobby?
Oh, I think there might be some crossover in the Venn diagram, but I'm not sure they're the same thing. Brad?
No, I don't think that there's any link. I
feel
don't
like
think
I
there's
know
a
a lot of
correlation.
CrossFitters that are libertarians.
I hear you.
Completely anecdotal.
I don't know that they are
Not science.
connected for any reason though.
I would say fitness in a broader sense. I think there are more libertarians in the fitness sense.
I don't understand.
If you're somebody who is keyed in on improvement, like, you can't be into fitness without acknowledging that there is a competition even within yourself that you have to win. And
I see what you're saying.
You know, the idea of I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay, it's not really like big in the fitness world.
Right. Like you're saying, I have a problem. The only way for me to overcome that problem is for me to do something about it.
And once you've achieved, I mean, you could say, like, if you go into a CrossFit gym, there's a bunch of people, and they're all shapes and sizes of people in a CrossFit gym. Very strong people. They don't have to, you know, they're not all like rippled, muscular men and women. But the idea of, I mean, to me, CrossFit is you never attain the thing that you're pursuing. Because there's always tomorrow.
Which is a lot like politics. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not what I was saying. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I mean, to think that there is a pursuit of a goal that is not actually achievable, but the point of CrossFit is accepting that it's not achievable. You're always in pursuit of it. I think that's what good politicians do, but it's bad policy. But the whole point of this that you completely derailed me from is I feel like there is a cross section, a strong cross section of people who are, I mean, if you're into CrossFit, nobody is casually into CrossFit. You can't be into CrossFit casually.
I would like to try. Because the parts of CrossFit, at least in my mind, that I think sound fun are the parts where you're going and hanging out with people, and it's
called
acceptable.
Going to a bar.
I know. But it's acceptable to just start yelling. And I don't know if that actually happens in a CrossFit gym, but I picture myself trying to run with a weight or something and just screaming because that makes it look like you're trying hard.
Tell me what experience you have of CrossFit gymnasiums.
There's one by my post office.
And?
I've driven by it, and I thought I saw my friend's car there once.
And from that, you derived screaming, carrying weights around.
And you?
I can solve a lot of my problems by paying for a CrossFit membership for you at a gym.
I guess we'll see.
Do you think it's more the individualism that makes CrossFit appealing to libertarians? So like libertarian minds, it's not so much that you can't achieve the goal. It's that I'm going to chase after this, and I don't want anybody telling me that it's right or wrong.
I've done CrossFit before. It wasn't for me.
No?
Oh, no. But what I do think is, to Brad's point, for me, there's health and fitness. Good. There's CrossFit, which is good. There's nothing wrong with CrossFit, but it is absolutely body and mind. If you want to pursue something like CrossFit, your mind has to be laser focused to be able to achieve the gains that you need to achieve in order to be a CrossFitter. I was not interested in that.
Love that word though. Gains.
Gains.
I would just yell gains.
Gains, bro.
Yeah.
What gym do you want? Here's my credit card. Just go.
You know what?
Be and you know what? Be your authentic self.
I will.
Ryan Wiggins.
Send them to my gym. That way I can film it.
No, I don't want any association with the show.
I'll wear my Anti-Fry Show shirt just to be sure.
Can I get you a Mark Rudin wants to push those shirts? I'll get you a Mark Rudin Show shirt, and you walk that around and be like, "Yay!"
Who's the guy walking around yelling gains? His face is all red. He's wearing a Mark Reardon shirt.
Yeah,
that's all. Oh, that's Mark.
That's Mark Reardon.
Oh man,
Is that the guy from KMX?
I'm gonna start doing that with
he's not
all
at
the
KMX
hosts here.
anymore.
All the guy hosts. I am now them everywhere I go. Are you Mark Cox? Yeah, you bet I am.
Yep.
You might remember me from being on TV.
So you're a yes, but not feasible. You think we should have more parties?
I would like that, but I don't think that's going to happen.
So go to the Anti-Fry YouTube channel and vote and let us know what you think. Next question, real quick before we got to go to a break. Are you a MAGA Republican, Ryan? Do you identify as a MAGA Republican?
No, actually, I don't.
Brad?
But there's no reason for me not to.
The operative word being America in MAGA. Yes.
You do identify as a MAGA Republican.
Sure.
I would say I don't identify as a MAGA Republican, but in Joe Biden's world, I absolutely am a MAGA Republican, and I am A-okay with being an America first, loving this country, patriotic American that everything Joe Biden stands for hates. And if Trump's the nominee, Ryan, you voting for him?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Brad?
Yep.
Easily, and twice on Sunday because I'm from Illinois. There's no problem with that. The idea of being a MAGA Republican, man, your self-identification and what is being applied to you, quite the different thing. Go comment on the Anti-Fry YouTube channel. Back in a minute.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
2022 is zipping by quickly, and if you haven't taken care of that big exterior painting job for your home or business, CertaPro Painters can help. I've depended on CertaPro for all my painting needs for more than a decade now. They talk about something called the power of pro. That's the power of timeliness, the power of doing it right, the power of minimal disruption. They work to make sure it's a smooth project from start to finish. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, the power of pro. Check out CertaPro.com today.
The Wall Street Journal reported that home equity is at record levels. And while home values continue to soar, rising interest rates make it harder than ever to unlock equity. But what if you could cash out your home's equity right now while it's still sky high and not have to move? You can with Truehold.com. Truehold will buy your home for full cash value. Best of all, you get to bank all the cash now and continue living in your home. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance too. Let's review. Truehold pays your home's full value in cash fast. Use your cash to do everything you've dreamed of, like travel or pay off debt. Call 855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com for the smarter, faster way to cash out your home's full value without having to move. 1-855-300-9993. 1-855-300-9993 or go to truehold.com.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA-MCO.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Another deal in the works. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Up against a deadline at the end of this month, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he wants to get a short-term spending bill passed quickly, but he also wants a variety of issues to be part of it, including a bid to make same-sex marriage federal law, as he defends the spending approved before the August recess.
The new laws are creating new investments, new jobs, new opportunities for American families and their communities. It's allowed America to pivot into the industries of tomorrow and lead the world.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says the new spending is reckless and will add to inflation. A judge in Michigan strikes down the state's anti-abortion law months after suspending it, one of the ongoing state fights emanating from the U.S. Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade. An appeal to California residents to conserve power is extended again for an 8th day amid record-breaking heat.
California electricity demand breaking records Tuesday amid extreme heat, hitting over 52,000 megawatts, with the state's independent system operator moving into an emergency alert level 3, which calls for maximum energy conservation efforts to avoid potential blackouts. Operators later canceling the level 3 alert, saying conservation played a big part in protecting the power grid, but continue to ask residents to minimize their electricity use between 4 and 9 p.m. local time.
Everyone has to do their part to help step up for just a few more days.
Governor Gavin Newsom, this includes setting thermostats to 78 degrees or higher and not using major appliances during those hours.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. A Northern California sheriff's deputy is accused of killing 2 people early today. They were shot to death. No word yet on a motive, but a manhunt is underway for Alameda County Sheriff's Deputy Devin Williams Jr. America is listening to Fox News.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
When a nasty cold keeps you up all night, Vicks NyQuil Severe gives you powerful relief from your worst cold and flu symptoms, which changes a night that sounds like this into a night that sounds more like this. Ah, that's better. NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, sore throat, stuffy head, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Quiet times, high pressure in control. Our high temperature today should pop out at about 82 degrees, partly to mostly sunny skies. Nice evening on the way. Partly cloudy skies, quick drop into the upper 70s. 65 for the overnight low. We're approaching the full moon. That comes up early Saturday, the harvest moon. Thursday, sunny and 83. Friday, sunny and 85. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Mark Cox.
It's a hard knock life.
Brian Kilmeade.
Everyone's doing something that should have been happening a long time ago.
Annie Frey.
You know what happens immediately after midterm election day in November? Presidential election season begins.
Mark Reardon.
The media portrays this as something that's completely acceptable.
Dana Lesh.
I can't, man. It's one of them days.
Keeping you connected with news, entertainment, and information with perspective. It's all here. 97.1 FM Talk.
cajonesinc.com. Looking to build a home on the Illinois side of the river? CA Jones has you covered. Go to their website at cajonesinc.com. You'll see a whole bunch of buildable plans that they have there for whatever direction you're looking for your new home. The inventory that is out there right now in the market is still tight. And if you are thinking about a brand new, fresh home for you, you can go to their website and see some of the inventory that they have of brand new homes that are ready to be moved into. They also care deeply about energy efficiency because that's the way of the future, saving you in energy costs over the course of time. They are the top energy efficient home builder in the area, and each home comes with a HERS rating that shows how efficient that home actually is. Plus, they have an amazing waterproof basement warranty, lifetime, and a 10-year structure warranty. Learn about the different homes that they build, the inventory that they have available right now for you to check out, all on their website at cajonesinc.com. That's cajonesinc.com.
Hi, Mark Goldstein here for Edwards Carpet. Times are tough, we're making less, and you're still paying more. So if you need new flooring, now is the time. Take advantage of our Labor Day sale. Carpet starting at $349, completely installed with pad, including take-up of old carpet and furniture moving. For this sale, everything's on sale. You can take advantage of our 12-month 0% financing, and if that's not enough, you'll pay no tax. Don't miss out, because these days, if you wait, you'll simply pay more. See you soon at Edwards Carpet.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
Our national debt is now over $30 trillion, an increase of over 20% in just the past 2 years. I'm sure you've been told at some point that taxes will be lower when you retire, but do you truly believe that? Now is the time to begin planning for the future of tax increases. Is your financial advisor helping you with tax planning for a tax-efficient future? If not, this is the time to call me, Ken Heisey, at Heisey Advisory Group, 314-328-6000. If you're like most people, you have a portfolio of investments, but a portfolio is not a plan. How have you planned for the potential legislative risk of increased taxes? Call Heisey Advisory Group now and let us help you create a plan to reduce the tax risk in your retirement. 314-328-6000. Again, that's 314-328-6000.
Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through A Wealth Management, LLC.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Let the Dave Munganast Pre-Owned Center on South Limburg put you behind the wheel of your next vehicle. Customers are seeing that when you choose the Dave Munganast Pre-Owned Center in South County, you're getting more than a great deal. You're joining the Munganast family. Come see the difference at davemunganast.com since 1965.
Odyssey.com is a universe of audio, and it's where you can download the app to stream 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it today and stream anytime from anywhere. Where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, I got back from vacation, a quick little vacation with my family this weekend, and I was trying to catch up on the news, and I pulled up Twitter, and I don't really look at Twitter trending topics very much. Ryan, do you, when you're on Twitter, are you looking at like, oh, what's trending now?
Not usually, although if it's a local story involving Albert or something, I'll probably click on that, but otherwise, no.
I can usually have a pretty good idea of what's trending ahead of time. Even. Mm-hmm. Are you looking at that, Brad?
Just on the sports
stuff. Yeah, if I'm on my computer, not my phone, and trending is over there, and I see like a local name, I'm like, oh, what's this about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw Kathy Griffin was trending the other day.
Oh, here we go.
Yesterday, and I was like, what's she do? What's her deal? So I was scrolling through it, and I realized that this is the tweet that she put out yesterday at 12:21 p.m. Did you guys talk about this yesterday?
No.
Okay.
No.
Kathy Griffin's tweet. If you don't want a civil war, vote for Democrats in November. If you do want civil war, vote Republican. Okay. So we can talk about that in a second. I go to click on it because I was going to retweet it and I was going to make a comment with the tweet, which I ended up doing by way of Brad's help. I went to go retweet it. I'm blocked by Kathy Griffin.
Is this a recent development, or
I
this
have
happened?
no idea.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know. I was shocked and like for a half a second offended and then really proud.
Well, I saw that you posted that you had been blocked. So
Yeah.
I thought, well, maybe you got into it with Kathy Griffin.
I think there was something in the past, but I don't remember, what it was. But
I know
it was
you got
enough.
into it with Alyssa Milano.
Oh man.
That was fun.
Was it?
Wow, I was having a blast.
I quit looking at Twitter for about 2 weeks because that was Halloween 2020.
Oh, okay.
And I remember because I was sitting out there and what my tweet that got under Alyssa Milano's skin was name a Joe Biden policy. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's probably my most easily my most trafficked tweet ever. And it was she tweeted it and it was just a bunch of people on the far progressive left of Twitter telling me that I need to die and that Trump is bad. And I was like, you people are so
See,
nice.
That's why it was a good time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You enjoyed that greatly, didn't you?
Yeah, it was just a good Halloween memory.
And then the next day I tweeted name a Trump policy. And it was a lot of people naming Trump policies and then a lot of you need to die. Trump is a bad person. I'm like, okay, whatever. I have no idea what I did. I can't remember the Kathy Griffin thing. I don't know what I did to take but I'm like pretty proud of the block. Way more proud. Like if I would have, sometimes I'll click on, for instance, we talk every once in a while about how Vanilla Ice follows the Andy Frey Show on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. And you pull up his Twitter account and the first thing it says is like, not political in all caps. Okay. So I have a blue check on Twitter. I do not feel more valuable as an individual, but the blue check does get attention in a way that not before I had the blue, like it was a dramatic change in my ability to get guests on the show the day I got the blue check. Now people would just listen to me. If you're verified on Twitter, you have a separate verified designation for notifications. So you can just go to your notifications on Twitter and only communicate and converse with the other verified people.
It's pretty much the velvet rope of Twitter.
It's weird. So once I got that, my notification would pop up in more prominent people. And I've gotten great guests for this show because of that. I don't know what I did to Kathy Griffin. I did ask Brad, I'm like, hey, Brad, will you go? Can you see? Are you blocked? And he wasn't. So he sent me the screenshot. If you don't want a civil war, vote for Democrats in November. If you do want civil war, vote Republican. And my point was just to say that the last Civil War was also started by Democrats, won by Republicans, and resulted in the end of slavery. So
it's a pretty good dunk.
I mean, but I want to do it to her.
She doesn't even see it.
But she doesn't want to talk to me.
You know what's really sad? I think my most famous follower is you.
Oh, Ryan, knock it off. At Radio Wiggins.
But beyond that, it's the lead singer of Space Hog. Remember them?
Yep, they're my favorite.
Royston Langdon. He was married to Liv Tyler.
That's
so
cool.
That's a pretty big deal, right?
What did Space Hog sing? I know Space Jam.
In the meantime.
And Wild Hogs, the movie.
He was not associated with either one of those. Surprisingly.
What if Space Jam and Wild Hogs did a collaboration?
You get Space Hog in the meantime.
Wild Space Hogs.
I'd see that.
Let's talk about 90s music.
Let's talk about Kathy Griffin's tweet here just for a second.
Yeah,
and I want to give you guys an opportunity to weigh in on this as well, because this is really, really quite a statement. Listen to Joe Concha.
Kathy Griffin has always been about unity and bringing people together. You do that by holding up the likeness of a severed head of a former president and then actually defending it after you do it, right? I mean, it's like she joined Hollywood ISIS at that point. And the decision was so bad when she did that, if you remember this, she lost her once-a-year job at CNN, and then even was dumped from her endorsement deal by the Squatty Potty people. You know who they are. Quote, revolutionary bathroom stool that encourages proper toilet posture for digestive health, unquote. Jimmy Fallon owns 4 of these things, and she lost that lucrative deal. So look, you get the point. People like Kathy Griffin, they profit off this sort of rhetoric.
Yeah.
But if this is comedy, I don't think we're getting the punchline.
Yeah, not very funny.
Vote Republican if you want civil war, Ryan.
Can you imagine anybody on the right retweeting that exact opposite thing? They'd be blocked instantly. But she can do it. She gets away with it.
Well,
That's terrible.
Not only can she do it, she can claim, well, that's not what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say was that Republicans are trying to start a civil war.
Yeah, she can.
By voting.
No, what that tweet says, though, is that if you vote Democrats, there will not be a civil war. If you vote for Republicans, there will be a civil war.
Definitely sounds like a hostage situation.
Yeah, sounds like there's a bit of a threat there.
I'm reading the comments on my tweet and I'm trying to figure out if this person is speaking to me or speaking to Kathy Griffin. But it's interesting to take in a statement like that. You want to throw out civil war like it's some sort of threat. I mean, it is threatening. The way she put that out there, it's threatening. She's basically saying that the stakes couldn't be higher in November. And that the only way, this is only the part that just really makes me confused, is that the only way that you can save democracy is if only one party is allowed to be in control.
That's right.
I don't understand that. That's not.
Oh, I think you're not giving her enough deference.
Oh, I'm definitely not giving her any credit. So I'm reading some of the comments. So I said, the last Civil War was also started by Democrats, won by Republicans, and resulted in the end of slavery. Is that a broad statement? It is. Is it wrong? No.
It is correct.
This person says, and this is like, I want to rip my ears off my head when I hear people use this meme on any social media. Tell me you don't know anything about history without saying you don't know anything about history. I hate to tell me.
It's not even an argument.
You know
it
what?
doesn't address anything you said.
He said, understanding the historical context of the political parties at the time is a critical component, especially if one is going to send a terse tweet that somehow masquerades as in-depth knowledge. Wordy, word salad there on Twitter. But Southern Democrats wanted to protect slavery.
Yes.
The Northern Republicans wanted free.
The Republican Party was literally founded.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yes.
Right.
Founded
Abraham Lincoln.
on eliminating slavery.
Correct. That's just historically factual. I mean, I don't need to plead my case. It just is.
What this person is saying is you're not taking into account the context that I want to provide.
Right.
There's not. I mean, you could always add context to everything, but those are facts. It's not as if what he's saying is, but I view things differently now, and you have to take that into consideration.
Well, what he's really saying is this statement at face value is really bad for my party because it kind of exposes the horrible roots of our party. And I need you to take in consideration this big switch thing that isn't actually a real thing that everybody calls stuff. And then they'll say Nixon's Southern strategy and all this other nonsense that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But it's basically because this comment here makes everything that I've been saying about Republicans and flips it on its head.
And it's true.
Abraham Lincoln wasn't like his entire story. It would be fun to talk to Brian Kilmeade about this because I read his book about Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Very good book. Good read. But Abraham Lincoln wasn't he didn't consider himself born to free the slaves. He wanted the new territories in the United States to be free soil. That's what Abraham Lincoln wanted. His first goal wasn't to say, free all the slaves.
Right.
That's not what Abraham Lincoln came on the scene to do, but the natural progression, it's very interesting to think about in the context of September 2022, because here you have Kathy Griffin saying, unless you want civil war, you have to vote for Democrats. You only have one choice to avoid civil war. The Southern Democrats said, if you nominate Abraham Lincoln to be your candidate, we will secede. And the Republicans, because the Southerners looked at Abraham Lincoln like he was an extremist, pro-abolitionist, anti-slavery candidate. And the Democrats said, fine, you nominate him, but if you nominate him, we're seceding. And the Republicans said, we're nominating him. We're doing it. Oh, we believe in this. We're nominating him. We're going through this. And then when he won the election in 1860, do you know that the state of South Carolina is the first state to secede? Do you know when they seceded? They started on December 20th of 1860, after the election, before the inauguration.
And the inauguration was in February at that time. So it was like well before the inauguration.
So you have a coalition of Southern Democrats. That's what they were, folks. I mean, I am not going to enter Exhibit A other than just American history. Read a book while they still exist. Southern Democrats wanted to protect slavery. Abraham Lincoln knew that the Union couldn't stand in a divided way. He was not going to grant the secession of these states. And he basically said, I think we're going to fight and die for this. The birth of the Republican Party through Abraham Lincoln, and a Republican Party that says your threats to our Union are heard and denied. We will nominate the person who is against slavery, who understands that slavery built this country. We would not be the economic powerhouse as a country that we are today if slavery doesn't exist when it existed. But we are the only people on the face of the planet who said we will kill our brothers to end this wrong. We will shed our own blood to stop this economic powerhouse that slavery was for this country. The economic strength that this country has with the implementation of slavery is not worth the human dignity that we are removing from these people, the rights that they should have. Our country can be put in a position where they will be economically hurt because the rights of these enslaved people are more important than the economic strength of this country. These people have dignity, and the Republican Party put itself on the line in the face of Southern Democrats who made Kathy Griffin-like threats to the Union to say, oh, no, you do this and we're out. And the Republican Party said, we're doing it. I just think that it's important to understand the context of United States history and to embrace the idea that we have done horrific things in this country and we have fought and shed our own blood to end them. And I fear the day that America is presented with that opportunity again. But I do hope that in the event that anybody in this country is presented with the idea to defend and protect the liberty and the freedom that belongs to the American people in the face of an overbloated, overgrown federal government, that we will still choose the same freedom and liberty that Abraham Lincoln and the Republican Party in the middle of the 19th century chose. Kathy Griffin is a moron. And she blocked me and she'll never know I said that.
I'll send it to her.
I was going to say she hasn't blocked me yet.
Yeah.
What if Kathy Griffin follows you? Will she be more? Will that be your most prominent follower then?
Yeah. Yeah. And all
that might be how to really get to Kathy Griffin. She'll be like, oh, is that another way to stick it to Annie Frey? Annie Frey. That Annie Frey is a real.
All my jokes will be centered around Kathy Griffin somehow being a hero, though. They'll all be tailored for her.
And they'll all be like with a big wink at the end of it. Kathy Griffin's my hero.
I don't know how this political issue fits into Kathy Griffin, but she is doing all right. That's how I'll conclude every tweet.
Any historical context to add?
I would like to say really quick that the person who's asking you for context is saying, well, things were different because you're talking about 1860. The South was primarily and reliably Democrat through Jimmy Carter. That's not that long ago. It wasn't until Ronald Reagan that you started to see a shift in the South.
And all the things that everybody hates, slavery, Jim Crow laws, poll taxes, all of these things, those all occurred under Democratic leadership in the South.
They're Democrat policies.
They absolutely
They're Democratic platform issues.
And now it's Democrats saying we need to solve the problems that Democrats caused, but they just don't ever say the other
and
part.
blame Republicans for it.
Yes. It's really amazing to put that stuff in actual context.
The Democrats, their greatest skill is messaging.
They really are good at it.
They're really good at messaging. More on this and your comments when we come back. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about mommy brain. We're going to find out if there's this thing called daddy brain. Ryan?
What?
Any daddy brains? We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. Free speech is a lie.
It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie.
Right here at the frequency of 97.1. It's where St. Louis comes to talk freely. 97.1 FM Talk.
So Slim 180 is who helped me lose weight here recently. I've gone to the HCG diet, speaking of mom brain, after each of one of my kids, and it was the one thing that helped me drop the weight and keep it off. I would hope for you that if you were thinking about losing weight, if you're thinking about getting healthy, getting in a better frame of mind and achieving a healthier version of you, that you would consider Slim 180 in that journey. MySlim180.com has all the information you need about the different programs they have, but also the locations they have around the St. Louis area, including the hours at each one of them. There is one near you, and they are waiting for you to call and set up a free consultation. Reach out to them, mention the Annie Frey Show when you do, and get started on your journey to weight loss and a healthier version of you. You can find out all the information you need online at myslim180.com.
The listening you love is on the free Odyssey app. Your trusted local radio stations, coverage of your favorite teams, live news from your hometown, and millions of podcasts on demand. Best of all, you can completely customize your listening experience. Follow topics you care about, like leagues and teams. Pause or rewind your local sports and news, and add shows to your queue to catch up later. There's a lot to listen to, so get started and download the free Odyssey app today.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
NMLS 114937. If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuyshomestlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Chris Buys Homes in St. or call 314-782-8000.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peters did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
Don't hate, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
CherryKilling.com.
I've been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. Sleeping in my bed.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Show me family, all the blood that I will bleed. I don't know where I belong.
This is a song from Wingfest. Wingfest was great.
It was a lot of fun. We talked about it a little bit yesterday about how long we got to sit and talk with people. Because usually we don't get to hang out for that long.
Yeah, we were talking to people the whole time we were there. We stayed longer than we needed to stay and just soaked it in. And that song is the one from Wingfest. If you haven't seen that, it's on our Instagram account, man. That sound that I put with it.
Oh, that was brilliant.
That was from you.
Yeah, I know.
There's nobody. So it was a solo act doing the song.
Mhm.
And so you said, Ryan, go up there and do the haze and the hose. So I walk up. I could not figure out where they went in the song because the guy wasn't doing it.
It was clear because what he went up and did in the video, this bizarre dance that he was doing in the video.
That was my backup plan.
I said, okay, like, is that always your plan B?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're in a situation you don't know what to do,
If you
that's where
toss
it goes.
to me and I wasn't listening or I have nothing to say, you know what's going to happen.
He's going to eat a chicken wing and dance.
Yep.
The chicken wing is just extra
I was doing my
gross.
punch dance.
This is great radio. He's doing it right now. Yeah, but there were only like 3 punches, and then there were some leg flails, spasms, and then you walked away like nothing
I went,
happened.
oh, well. And I look behind you, and there's a whole bunch of people watching me. And I was thinking, oh, I forgot there's a lot of people here.
I'm not in the studio by myself.
All I said that he should do is go stand up there and then yell, "Hey!"
Uh-huh.
Ho!
And I tried, and I could not find it. I could not find the
And then
hay
he
in the hoe.
panicked, and now you know what it looks like when he
Uh-huh.
panicked. Like, I don't even know how to explain
I know
it.
you have to narrate, and I'm just doing my moves.
Go vote in the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Do you prefer a political system that represents more than 2 parties? Yes, no, or yes, but it's not feasible. I'm curious about who you think could be an effective leader of a third party that might actually get some traction, because a lot of times the people who come up to the surface are like really active people in the Libertarian Party or Green Party or whatever. And it's like, people don't know those people. You need somebody like Joe Rogan to be like, I'm running for president, but I think the Republicans and Democrats suck, and I'm going on this such and such party, or as a libertarian, like to appropriate that.
You're talking about how it would practically happen, how you actually could form a viable third party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it would
Like
take.
Yang.
That's not gonna happen.
He said viable.
Yeah, I said viable. No, that's right. I mean, it'd have to be somebody like a Matthew McConaughey who is just who's saying the things that Andrew Yang is saying, which is nothing, and just say, well, we want to unite everybody. We're going to govern from the middle and whatever.
Liz Cheney.
I don't know. Liz Cheney, I think, wants to be that, but I think she's going to find out real quick that she is not getting any Democrat support unless she's just there to take down Trump, which she might get.
You don't think that there are Democrats who would vote for Liz Cheney over Joe Biden
I don't
or
think
Kamala
so.
Harris?
No, I don't.
I think that there are never Trumpers that would vote for Liz Cheney over Joe Biden.
I think that if you have I'm not saying at all that she's going to win, but in a race where you have a Donald Trump and a Joe Biden, which I honestly don't think either one of them are going to be in the 2024 race. And I know that I am in a incredibly small majority thinking Trump's not going to run.
Minority.
An incredibly small majority.
I was like, wow, I don't know how you're pulling that off, but I'm impressed.
No, minority. Sorry, mom brain. I know that is not a popular opinion, and I'm probably going to eat crow on it, but I just don't think he is, and I'm sticking to it, and I'll just happily admit that I'm wrong and vote for him when he runs. But there are enough people, in my opinion, who voted against Donald Trump, who don't love the direction of the Democratic Party, who have voted on both sides of the aisle on varying issues at varying times in their life. There are enough people where I think that a Liz Cheney candidacy could spoil on either side.
I definitely agree that she could spoil Trump with the never Trumpers, even if it's just a couple percent, 4% of people. I just don't think she could pull enough Democrats.
I think that she could spoil. I think she would spoil Joe Biden before she'd spoil Donald Trump.
That surprises me. Because I just don't think there's enough of those middle people who would view somebody who's got like a 94% conservative voting record and say, yeah, I'll go with her.
Yeah, but it would be polling independents. And the way independents break when it's about Donald Trump is 4-1 toward Biden. So she would be polling independents from Joe Biden, who has a bigger share of independents in that. And I think it would hurt Joe Biden more than it would hurt Donald Trump.
I question 4-1. I don't know where you got that. But.
Ben Shapiro.
The same place we get all of these things we make up off the top of our head. Just thoughts that we're espousing on the issue. Here's a comment from our friend Kevin on YouTube. Going back to the last segment where we were talking about Kathy Griffin, who says that if you are pro Civil War, you should vote Republican in November. If you don't want Civil War, then you have to vote Democrat. And we were talking about the history of our country and how the last Civil War was started by Democrats, ended by Republicans, and in turn, what the Republicans fought for and won was a country that, even though it was in shambles, was still unified, and it ended slavery. That's what the Republican victory in the last Civil War warranted. Kevin says, those were some brave Republicans. We could use some of them now instead of the election deniers we have now. Any thoughts?
That issue drives me crazy because people use it as a cudgel instead of actually talking about the issue. I love talking about that issue and debating it with people, especially when we have time at a bar with a friend. That's a great place to do it.
Some mom water.
With a little bit of mom water. Me and a good grown man buddy just sitting there at a bar drinking some mom water.
Should we talk on the air about the things that you and your...
You can. Kind
of already did.
I think you have to now. So that same guy that I'm thinking of, who I like to debate with.
Is he on the other side?
He would be...
Does he know you're debating?
No, we know we're debating. He would be a little bit more centrist. He's definitely not a Democrat, but he hates the labels. He and I at one point decided that we were going to go look. This is before we were married. And this is way off the topic now. So
married to your wife?
Before you were married.
Before we were married to our wives.
Okay.
Separately. We decided we were going to look at some real estate because I've always been, and he too have been interested in real estate. And before that, we decided we were going to get a pedicure. And we did. And I don't regret a minute of it other than the looks that we got. But I dealt with that, got through it.
This whole conversation started off air because I said off air that I support men getting pedicures. So I think that's important context to the story.
I'm glad that you provided that because I didn't even remember that.
I think men should get pedicures. I think that there's nothing wrong with going with your guy friend to get a pedicure.
Especially when it was a sale that day.
That's exactly
and that
what
is why we did it. We did it because it was only $20 at that moment.
No, men, listen. Ladies,
we're listening.
Don't want to see your gnarly feet. Get a Get a pedicure. Like, I don't want to look at your feet, but if I look at your feet, I don't want to recoil at the sight of your feet.
So it's not necessarily about the pedicure itself. It's about taking care of your feet.
Yes, and if you go get a pedicure, if you go get a professional pedicure, I mean, you could go like every 3 months or something like that and just have nice, presentable feet. That's a good thing. Maybe there should be like a speakeasy for men.
No, listen, nice, presentable feet are in shoes and you don't get to see them.
That's not true. In the summer, sandals happen, pools happen.
No.
If you grew up like I grew up, bare feet are happening all the time.
I grew up like you grew up. and bare feet didn't happen all the time because you're going to step on something.
So
no, then you get hurt foot. No pedicures.
Who's soft now?
No, well, that's why I wear shoes. Listen, I don't want to see your
Ryan's
feet.
like, I think I'm winning.
I don't want to see your feet. I don't want to see your toes. I don't want anybody to touch my feet. I don't want anybody to touch my toes. I don't want any part of it.
Well, as long as you're keeping those feet in your shoes, then okay. But I'm just saying, if you want to be somebody who is presenting your feet to the world, I think that it's okay to go get a pedicure. And then Brian was like, oh, I get pedicures with my guy friends all the time.
Not all the time. I did not say that. I said one time.
That's what I heard.
Literally one time.
I heard he was going after the show.
There's something
with our boss Steve to get a pedicure.
Yeah, that's fine. If Steve wants to take me and he's paying, that's fine.
I heard you were paying.
No, you did not. You didn't hear any of this. You're making all of this up as we're talking.
Some of it's true, some of it's not. I'll let the people decide.
That's fine. We can do that. I will say, though, that as Brad was talking about running around with no shoes, like a ragamuffin.
Man, one sticker bush and you're done.
You're not supposed to run in the sticker bushes.
Well, you don't always see them when you're running.
Are you talking about like sandburrs?
No. Sticker bush, like a thistle, purple thistle, but it's flat.
I had a flashback when you said that to when I was a little kid, thinking about, and it was like I was fantasizing about being one of those kids that ran around with no shoes. that was a goal to attain that I never attained because I have these soft feet and they need to be pedicured. But I always wanted to be one of those kids.
Listen, I don't want to. What I want people to take away from this is that I support men getting pedicures, but just because you get pedicures doesn't mean you have soft feet.
I'm not really sure where any of us stand on this issue.
If your feet aren't soft after a pedicure, are you even doing it right?
You can have calloused feet and still maintain them with
But isn't that part of the pedicure?
As well, it can be. Having nails trimmed and having your feet in good order doesn't necessarily, like, you can have calluses on your feet that aren't like, that don't need their own zip code.
Would you be willing to, you're already buying me a CrossFit package, right?
Yes.
Would you be willing to include a pedicure?
As long as the pedicure comes after your month at CrossFit, because I think I'm probably good on that.
You're probably right. What do I have to do at CrossFit? Do I just have to show up and check the box?
You have to act like you belong.
I'm going to show up. I'm going to pick up a couple weights, yell, and make people notice me.
Yell
gains.
Gains.
Throw those things down and be like, pedicure time is going.
You're going to die. This is the end.
This man is making a mockery of us. I do not approve of this.
Just himself. All right. We got to go to break. My dad's probably mad at me now.
Why? What does your dad have to do with this?
He doesn't like when I make fun of you.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
He likes you more than he likes me.
Thank you, Pops.
No.
I'm going to call him Dad now. Is that okay?
You know what? Let it happen.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
It's really annoying. He's worried about you.
Oh, I still miss it.
You might as well dance. You're better at the dance anyway. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I've been loving you. You've been loving me in my sweetheart.
Show. Julie Kelly, senior contributor to American Greatness. Do you think that Merrick Garland went rogue on this?
Biden instructed the archivist to turn over those materials to the FBI.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
The Closet Factory, online at closetfactory.com, are miracle workers. When they come into your house and assess your situation, think about your office too, like your place of business. They can absolutely help you there. Churches, if you're somewhere that is maybe short on storage for all of the things that you need to do in your space. Like I said, if it's commercial or if it's a church location, a community building or something, they can take the space that you have and make it work for you. So you don't have to think about relocating or adding on. Maybe you have the solution right there in front of you, especially with your home. I want you to consider the spaces that you have in your house that you kind of avoid. They collect things and maybe the same things each and every day, but not really in a way that makes you proud to, show that spot to people when they come to your home or whatever. Maybe it's a place in your house that you don't even really think about anymore being disorganized because it's just been that way for so long. Reach out to the Closet Factory and have them provide a solution customized for your particular needs. And make sure you mention the Annie Frey Show when you do. They are wonderful people, and they are so good at what they do with affordable solutions right around the corner. You can find out all the details online at closetfactory.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet Store. Do you want to walk and stay healthy, but cannot because you are in pain?
I just had difficulty walking. I could not walk in bare feet at all.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts from the drugstore with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet Store.
The Good Feet system fits in all your shoes, so come to the Good Feet Store and become pain-free today.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet Store.
Man, what a great party you're throwing here. This wasp nest is great.
Yeah, man, we got about 70 wasps in here. It's one in, one out.
Too bad we can't fit any more wasps in here. It looks like they're having fun outside, stinging all the kids. Oh, man, who just pulled up?
Oh, no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They seem to kill every one of my parties.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. We'd love to help you out, so please visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gslhonorflight.org, and for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Up-to-the-minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Every hour, every day I'm learning more. The more I learn, the less I know about before.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
The moon and stars sit well high. Earth and the trees beneath the light. The wind blows fragrant lullaby. Cool at night for you and I. On the wing the birds fly free.
I kind of feel like tomorrow's YouTube live chat poll is, should men get pedicures?
Yeah, you could do that.
Everybody wants to know, Ryan, would you be up for going back to get another one? Is it
Who am I going with?
Is it a one and done? I mean, I go get
Does it matter?
I go get pedicures by myself.
I'm not going to go by myself. If it's an event, if we got a trolley and there's a bunch of people having fun, yeah, let's do it. That's the way pedicures work, right? They're party events.
No.
In my mind, that's the way they work.
It's a foot event. I was literally talking before about creating a speakeasy so men could do it in private. And you're like, Who's going with me? The point of getting a pedicure is so that your feet are presentable, not so that you can have a great time. You can have a great time without the pedicure part.
I'll make a deal with you.
I'm not going with you.
That's not the deal.
I don't want to see
That's
your
not
feet.
even what the proposition
I
was.
don't want to see your feet. I actually
that
don't
was
even
the
want
proposition.
to.
I'll show you my feet. You tell me if I need it.
I don't even want to.
No.
I don't even want to know that you have feet.
Oh, really?
No.
I'm just going to start falling over.
I can't look at you.
All
you
Taking my shoes off. One of my socks is off.
They're out.
Hannah, look at his feet and tell us.
No, I'm not doing that.
Brad.
I'm not doing it.
Brad, you're anti pedicure.
I am anti foot.
If see, I don't want him to have feet either.
I'm for men getting pedicures.
Take care of it. You are?
Yeah.
You both are, but you're girls, so.
Mr. Wonderful's gone with me to get a pedicure once.
Oh,
Bless
breaking
his heart.
news.
Yeah, he went with his girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. I don't know why.
Maybe it's because you had terrible
You
feet.
hadn't tried your guitar trick yet.
Yeah.
I hadn't learned to fake play the guitar yet.
I don't know why.
After that, I started walking around with a guitar on my back, even though I never knew how to play.
And sandals.
And sandals. Check out my feet. Anybody want to listen to a song?
Did you notice a difference pre-pedicure to post-pedicure on the quality and the care of your feet?
No.
Really?
No.
It's not a good pedicure?
I don't know. It was something we did as a joke almost.
I like how you added to the end of that sentence, almost.
I feel like
I mean,
he's
you know,
backpedaling.
I'm not going
It was like,
to deny that it was
all
enjoyable.
right, we really want to go do this. I really want to enjoy a pedicure, but we're going to tell people it's a joke. That is, it seems like the idea of what you're going for here.
You're not far off.
Mm.
But the biggest problem with it was not what happened to my feet. It was, as you can imagine, the social ramifications that I'm still dealing with probably 20 years later.
You brought it up.
Off air. And then you brought it up on air.
We want to talk about the other story from the Wildie?
Oh, no. That's too soon.
Wait, like that is a story. Well, this, you know what? That story and your attack ad against me are in the same vault.
How about
Black
I'll
box.
tell that story if you allow me to play the attack?
Absolutely not.
Oh, well, then I guess the people will stay in the dark.
All right. For the people, would you get another pedicure? Yes or no?
Maybe.
Yes or no for the people?
Maybe is no. I think that everybody who's listening right now knows, like Brad, it's a hell no. A maybe is a yes. Because you're either absolutely against it, or if the prospects exist that it could happen in the future, you're not. There's no middle ground. You would get another one.
I'm not seeking a pedicure. If a pedicure was forced upon
That's a
me.
yes.
If a pedicure was forced upon you,
Yeah.
that's not what this is. It's not like that.
If it was forced
Where
upon
did
you, then
you
you
go?
wouldn't have a choice.
What was the
Yeah.
experience?
No. Okay.
I'm just thinking that maybe what we're talking about, like, what if what I'm calling a pedicure is not what you think a pedicure is?
The situation.
There are
that-
no forced pedicures. Let's put it that way.
You ever seen Gulliver's Travels where the Lilliputians tie him down? That would have to be the situation.
You know what? No, I've never seen Gulliver's Travels, but I do know what you're talking about.
So just to clarify that if that exact situation happened, then yes, I guess I would.
Does that mean you like it and you enjoy it? You just don't want to walk in there and get one yourself?
Yeah, because I could probably break through those Lilliputians' little ropes real
Oh, I
easily.
can't get
But I'd be like,
anywhere. I
oh
guess I'll
man,
have
I
to lay
can't
here and
go.
get
I guess
this
they're gonna
pedicure.
they're gonna paint my toenails. Oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing.
Did they paint your toenails?
Yes,
That's
I told you we did it as a joke. We went all the way.
Wait, what?
We went all the way. I think I got yellow and black like a bumblebee. And the other guy got purple or something. I mean, we were just doing this like, let's just do this. We're 22 years old. No 22-year-old men walk into a pedicure.
Let me be clear. When I said I'm for men getting pedicures, that is not what I meant.
I knew this would come up at some point. You
Ryan,
know what?
you brought it up.
No, you brought it up.
No, I did not.
You brought it up. Ask your dad.
You're fired.
No,
can't
I'm
fire
not
me.
because our boss is taking me out for a pedicure after this. Apparently, I didn't know that.
That's how he's firing you.
Oh, is that how that happens? Oh, he's getting the old pedicure talk.
No, I can't fire you. I've tried.
Oh, Hannah.
All right.
It's so weird.
YouTube poll question, I guess.
You got your nails painted?
No, there's the toenails, not my nails. Don't
You're-
do that. Don't do that stuff.
What? Just my toenails, not my nails.
Yeah.
You have a weird classification of your nails.
I guess that's true. I guess all nails are nails.
I'm going to take him to get a pedicure sometime. We're going to stand. He'll be like, "This is not what they did to me."
No, this is what a pedicure is.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, we paid a lot for that too. Hannah.
Okay. For the people, do you prefer a political system that represents more than two parties? Yes, no, or yes, but it's not feasible. 42% of the people said yes, but it's not feasible. 35% said yes, they prefer a political system that represents more than two parties. And 23% says no, they do not prefer a system that represents more than two parties. I have some votes here. Or some comments. GWIB says, if the Republicans keep sliding to the left, I think Libertarians could become a contending third party. Robert says...
That's interesting because he's saying that then that the Libertarians would be running right of Republicans. I wouldn't have expected that.
Robert from YouTube says, I'm for a multiple party system. Carl says, that's not the comment I wanted to read.
Get out of here, Carl.
Now I kind of want to read it.
Yeah, well, was
Janine says, I voted no in the poll because I don't, quote, prefer more than two parties. I think it should go back to the character of the candidate, not what they look like or what party they belong to. Rob from YouTube says, I voted yes. However, for it to work, you need rank choice voting before any third plus party starts to make a difference.
Boo to that. Get out of here.
Wait, sorry. Tom comments on here from before. Brad looks uncomfortable for Ryan.
That happens more often than you think.
That
joke.
uncomfortableness is for me all 100%.
If you're not on the chat watching us, that happens a lot.
Go ahead, Anna.
Rob from YouTube says, I voted yes. Oh, we already read that. Rob.
Gosh, these people.
TJ from YouTube says, I'm not a member of a party. I have my own views. I don't take marching orders from anyone. My vote is my vote, and it must be earned. I don't like the bullying that comes from both sides. Thank you, Rob.
So only 23% of people say no, they don't prefer that political system, which is one where I said, and 42% say yes, but not feasible. That's interesting. Just yes in the middle is about a third. That surprises me. Tomorrow, more pedicure talk. You gonna go get another one?
I'm gonna be sick tomorrow.
Oh, are you?
Planning on it.
What are you gonna be
if it's
sick
gonna
with?
be if it's gonna be pedicure talk.
Pedicure.
I almost said petty talk. I don't want to say that. I am sorry that we only have 20 seconds left.
I'm sorry that we have 20 seconds left. Oh man. Mark Rudin.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Mark Rudin. Mark Rudin show right here, right next. Don't go away.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety.